Good evening, everybody. And joining me, we have.
I saw love with your dicks inside her. And feeling full with lots of dicks inside her. And a mouthful flowing down inside her.
Oh,
Cider.
that's my intro. Okay.
And also.
Good evening.
How we doing, everybody? Was Steven?
Hot.
Yes, it was.
Brilliant.
Now, normally I kind of depend on Einprecht to read things so that my voice doesn't give out. He's not here.
Did he die?
Maybe, don't know. Cider, do you feel
Sure.
like reading?
Yeah, absolutely. I know English.
There we go.
The Vox Populi website is saying making millions with comics. AC takes a little offense at the massive success of Eric July's comic Kickstarter. Get based, make bank. Anti-woke comic rakes in $1.7 million as of the time of that posting in pre-orders. I'm not linking to this shit just because it pisses me off. But this was an article on Steven Crowder's website. Basically, some random asshole had a totally new idea to make a book of non-woke comics, which he is charging $90 for, and he has supposedly sold $1.7 million worth of them at the time of this posting, and Crowder is promoting it. First, noticed no mention of Archaven Comics or Vox Day, who have only been doing this doing this better and bigger, even for free, for years now. 4 years now! And who, no doubt, would dwarf this guy. Second, no way this guy shows up unannounced and has more reach than Vox has accumulated after decades amassing fans in all sorts of genres. He sells $1.7 million worth, at the time of that posting, worth of $90 books almost overnight. Do you think you could do that? Would Crowder mention you if you did? What you are seeing is What you are seeing is how the machine tries to bleed Archaven by having one of their actors show up with a product the machine created. Get free pimping on some machine mouthpiece, with sales that sound a bit odd, and try to squeeze the real things out of the market. Learn to see the difference between the real things and those things they jam in your face.
So, before we read the rest of that, let's go over the things that are wrong with just that part.
Oh, there's so much wrong here.
Red Dead
First
Online
off-
is dead.
First off, the book is $30. And as far as I understand, as of right now, it's like, I think at 2.2 million.
Yeah, something like that. Let me.
But what was it? Eric July was actually talking
got
about
it
this
somewhere.
earlier. And
It's at
saying,
2.5 million.
oh, shit.
$2.5 million. Over 28,000 purchasers.
Fuck. But Eric July was saying that that a lot of people were showing their colors, and they were messaging him on Twitter and all the other shit, and calling him the N-word with the hard R over it.
So obviously Vox Day is quoting AC here, but the first line is Vox's, and it says it's a Kickstarter. I suppose he could be using the term that word that I suddenly can't say.
Colloquially.
Yeah, that one.
Ripple was saying that it wasn't a crowdfund. That everything that they've gotten isn't crowdfund because the book was already done. The only thing that is being paid for is the printing of the books.
Yeah. So yes, Ripper I believe he's stated that it's he spent $200,000 creating this, and it is not a Kickstarter. It's being pre-sold or whatever on his own website, which helps ensure, of course, that you don't get deplatformed.
And that you don't have to censor yourself.
Oh, no, oh, yes, I'm being corrected here. Generically,
Okay.
using the word generically. Yeah, it's possible, although it's also possibly simply mistaken. But anyway, so
Well,
you
hell,
got that problem, and then as mentioned, it's not $90. It's actually, I believe it says $35 on the first tier that appears. And this is, I guess the article being quoted is probably from a couple of days ago or something. So that's why the total's so far off. But although it is going up rapidly. You know what makes me mad?
Yeah.
Listen to people with autism like George. Anyway.
Oh, all I know is there was a dust up on Friday Night Tights with George that he's not going to be sending Gary any more money because he ignored him during some like Alex Jones interview or something.
Oh yeah, they had Salty Cracker and Alex Jones on at the same time.
Yeah, and like George like sent like an $8,000 super chat that said "fuck you, Gary." So
8,000. Oh, it's in Canadian.
I
So it's only about what, $2?
no, not Comicsgate George. This is another George that hangs out with the Friday Night Tights.
Oh, it
guys.
says Kickstarter when he means crowdfunded. Oh, does he? Okay.
Oh. Okay, I guess it's a shorthand term for what a crowdfunder is, right? You know. Sort of like how people call things Kleenexes,
Yeah.
tissues Kleenexes when they're not, you know, Q-tips when they're not.
Or back in the day when they always said Xerox when they meant copy.
Exactly, yeah. Could you make a Xerox of this? No, sir, we have a Phillips.
George hang out with Adam Krigler now.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
He is the previous co-host with Tim
Timcast.
Pool.
Oh,
Tim
the
Pool,
long hair
but-
guy. Okay.
Yeah.
The first long-haired guy.
The first hippie.
The one that was apparently too, I don't know, what would you say? Too clever for Tim to allow him to continue to be there.
Ah.
Well, hell, he was
He was
with
able
them
to,
for a long while.
Offer counterpoints that were too good. So Tim
Right.
was like, you got to go. I can't have people, showing me up on my own show. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, let's see. Where are we? There's no mention of Arkhaven. Why would there be when the article is about Ripa verse?
The only thing I know
think that
about
Fox
all
would
this shit,
probably admit that he is kind of off-putting and shuns a lot of media attention as well. But he sells $1.7 million of $90 books almost overnight. Again, not correct there about the $90. Do you think you could do that? Not me personally, no. Would try to mention if you did, probably not. What you're seeing is the machine, and it's like there's nothing, in my opinion, to indicate that Ripa is a plant or anything like that.
No, we don't. What the biggest issue is that a lot of people don't seem to grasp is that Ripa has nearly 500,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
And this isn't, you got to understand also in this era that we're in right now, 5-minute videos rule the internet, and Ripa's not doing that. So the people that are tuning into him want to hear what he has to say. They're a dedicated fan base. And that's what you're seeing take over here. Like, this same thing would happen on multitude levels higher with PewDiePie if PewDiePie put out a comic. You'd see like this in the order of like hundreds of millions of dollars coming overnight. But this is how it works. You translate your fans into a buying audience and you make a lot of money on them. That's how it happens.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been pretty shocking to see like how many people are comfortable dropping like "you're an Uncle Tom" or dropping hard R's at him because of it. 10 minutes is the best for AdSense in certain realms, like gaming stuff like that. But if you're doing like news of the day stuff, 5 minutes is best because like the Zoomer sort of attention span is kind of taken over on YouTube. Uh, James Hayes says there's a few videos of George's super chat meltdown on the net. He became increasingly deranged, threatening Gary with lawyers and physically threatening to beat Jeremy Griggs up. Oh,
Is that for real though? Because I thought I'd seen that, and I thought somebody pointed out that it wasn't actually George. Like it was somebody pretending to be George.
oh. Well, they have
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of cash to throw around if they're.
I
fake
don't know. Okay, let's now read what Fox has to say about this.
It's entirely possible AC is correct and that this is an attempt to suck the air out of the independent comic space. I certainly wouldn't put it past Ticketmasters. They seem to be prone to funding their pet ticket takers in any and every possible area. However, unlikely for fear of the organic growth of an institution without any use for them. That being said, there are a lot of Jesus. For that being said, there's a lot of cucks, cons, and Republicans who are irritated by the social justice demolition of the entire entertainment industry and would love to vote for a black man for president. We see this every election cycle. We see it in the instant success of ideological chameleons like Candace Owens, who made that difficult transition from full-blown SJW, thought policewoman, to professional conservative black woman without breaking a sweat or generating a single word of criticism in the media. So, the massive success of a conservative black man writing a Gary Stu comic where the villain is racism doesn't exactly surprise me. Either way, I don't share out AC's outrage. I have never feared competition. To the contrary, I find it extremely motivating. Ever since the unexpected success of the original Alt Hero crowdfund, people on the nominal right have been trying to move into that space in order to outshine Arkhaven. Eric July and the Blaze Daily Wire Access aren't the only contestants. An intriguing alliance between EVS, Larry That Guy, and Bane Books would prove amusing in at least one way or another. None of this is any concern to me because Arkhaven's strategy relies solely upon being consistently better than everyone else, as the next major Arctoons release should suffice to demonstrate. But we can test AC's thesis. Next month will mark the launch of Midnight's War crowdfund. The issues 1 through 6 are already complete, and books from both Midnight's War and Midnight's War Night Streets will be available. Perhaps all the oxygen has been vacuumed out of the space, or perhaps July's success won't make a difference at all. Regardless, I'm entirely confident that the storytelling, the characters, and the artwork will all be consistently superior to the competition, both professional and independent. George Mulhall is a fan dub Mongoloid's own version of sketch therapy or Richard C. Meyer. Ah, okay. George has his own channel. It was for real.
Weird.
Castle says he'll be back in 20 minutes, gonna eat dinner. Girlfriend made chili dogs. All right. All right, gotta go fast. But G. France says this is not a good sign at all. What goes in the dark shall come to the light. Drake Tungsten says it is possible that Eric July is part of the controlled, condoned opposition. Guess I'll find out when I read it. Is it Larry Correa? Is that how you say
I
it?
believe so.
If I'm butchering it, I'm sorry, Larry. It's not on purpose. James Hayes says Larry Correa has some sort of beef with JDA. I don't know. It's the usual mainstream stuff. Mr. Ruckus says, what's best in life is to hear the lamentations of socialists. It's indeed true. Drake Tungsten says, maybe if Vox would deliver on his prior campaigns first, he'd have an argument. I don't know. I didn't back any of them.
Yeah, neither did I. Does he not deliver? That's
I don't know.
that's
Angela,
unfortunate.
is it Schmalke? Schmalke? Angela says, how come Liam is not in this article since he claims to be the one saving comics? It's true. It's true. Someone should really acknowledge that. Melvin Must Die says, that was a meme video from Deadwood Dale. Those super chats were fake. They were fake. Okay? Sweaty balls. Schmack talk. Okay. Schmalky. Okay. All right. Welcome aboard.
All right. So before we move on, let's real quick go over this. I mean, is it possible that Eric July is some kind of, plant? Sure. Is it likely? I don't think so. Not at all. I'm not going to bother switching to it, but I will just take a look at the Social Blade real quick and point out that Young Ripa 59 account was created May 29th, 2007.
So, this is quite a long con if he is.
Yeah, he has been on the platform for a long, long time. And, so any suggestions that, he just came out of nowhere, it's like, no, he didn't. You just weren't paying attention. Hadn't noticed him.
In all fairness, Eric really hasn't surfaced a lot in comic circles. He's mainly surfaced a lot in political circles. You see him on Tim Pool, The Blaze, sometimes with Ben Shapiro's network. You'll find him there before you'll find him like bounding in comics and stuff like that. Although he commentates on comics, he mainly roots himself in politics. So that's why his presence in our sphere is like new.
But he has been hyping this whole thing for at least a year now, hasn't he?
At least a year. That's when I first caught on to it. It could be like he's just been whispering about like someday I'm going to start my own thing. I got this idea. Because again, like he does live streams like EVS does for hours on end. So I'm sure some of it leaked out at some point. Mr. Ruckus says Vox Day is busy looking at misproven wolf studies to prove that JDA is alpha Mexican rat. Wolf? Rat? I don't know.
He's talking about Vox's socio-sexual hierarchy. That's
that alpha, sigma, beta stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Which, the basis of it, I guess, was, wolf studies that supposedly have been misproven or whatever. But it's like, okay, but that was just the basis. Like,
well, there are certain
it's primarily based on his observations of human behavior. So anyway.
Yeah, again, I mean, like if that's how you get into it, Pepe Salvia says, tonight I am launching Midnight Crotch, which tells the story of a burly black proto-Mandingus streetwalker named Crawdaddy. This tells the tale of his one-man war against white bitches. All right, Pepe. All right. Hey, make sure you get like one of those holographic foil covers, okay? That'll really help it. Drake Tungsten says, been waiting for 4 years. I've been waiting. I still like Vox, but I'm not backing any more crowdfund. I guess he's not good at fulfilling. Melvin Must Die says, what happened to Deadwood Dale? His channel is gone. I'm not sure.
Wasn't aware his channel was gone.
Perhaps he got sucked into the Matrix. James Hayes says, Vox Day is a black man fake isn't... Vox Day calling a black man fake isn't a surprise. I'm so sorry I butchered that. Vox Day calling a black man fake isn't a surprise. Yeah, well, you know, he's known, that's for sure. This is Vox's MO, so don't worry. But Mr. Rugged says he's not wear cargo pants, so he's not a glowy. I don't know. I think I've seen him wearing cargo shorts at least. But Stavros G says, fire Andy. Helmet says, the only controlled opposition around Eric July are grifters like Nerdrotic and Jeremy Mabrand. His channel is on Odyssey. Oh, okay. So for everyone who's curious about Deadwood Dale, Dude Man says he moved over to Odyssey. So look for him over there. Melvin Must Die saw that message. And Mr. Ruckus says, based on wolves stuck in bias for 3 generations. Oh, you mean like captivity? Yeah. Well, and also like very misunderstood ideas about the wolf pack as well. Because again, we were just observing them when they surfaced. We weren't following them where they went when they were out of our sight. So very different behaviors. But again, I mean, like, it doesn't matter. Humans aren't wolves. You know, again, it's a good way to start the conversation. That's why Jack London's stories took off so well, is because he frames the human behavior through the animal's behavior, but they're not the same. So
Fox does make a point with Candace Owens. For anyone who bothered to look, and some people did, you could find her previous leftist existence still online, where she literally made a website for reporting bullies. You know, oh, you said something impolite. Well, now we get to find out everything about you and cancel you and get you fired from your job and so on and so forth. To the best of my knowledge, there has been no such thing discovered about Eric July.
No, if anything, the only thing that's really like a bruise on his reputation is that he did a stream with Preston Poulter several years ago where he claimed that Preston introduced him to the concept of making his own comics.
Oh my.
And that he had to make a stream addressing that he had no idea that Preston was some sick sexual weirdo. And they just met at a libertarian convention, and that they were talking about comics being like a pop culture, zeitgeist. So he wanted to get into it that way, to talk about like more political ideas and shape the world that way. And that's what their original stream was about, where Preston didn't talk at all about like Guinevere's Divinity Factory or anything like that. That's sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, that's the problem with libertarians, I guess. You don't know what kind of weirdos you're going to find.
That's pretty much the only blight on Eric's record as far as conservatives are concerned. He's one of those libertarians that believes you can build your own roads, and as you know, no, you really can't.
He's an ANCAP. So
yeah. But again, I mean, like, you got to have people like that on the other end of the rope, or else the communists win, right? You know, you got to have two extremes in order to have a middle, right?
I suppose.
And that's how it goes. Angela says FNT is so play out. They just do say the same thing over and over, never making anything of their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gary like has an explicit rule about that he doesn't want to go into making his own comics or anything like that. He's like totally opposed to the idea. Castle says, World War I was overshadowed by the sequel. Yeah. Yeah, well, the villain in World War II was really what sold it. You know, nobody really remembers World War I's villain. James Hayes says, I don't know the truth of it, but I remember rumors Deadwood Dale had some kind of meltdown and deleted his channel to get away from the CG crowd or some such. Not sure.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. So Pepe Salvia says, Deadwood took a break from CG after choking on EVS's cock for the 47th time. His wife had to resuscitate. I know English. Had to resuscitate him. He came back with a near-death experience. The devil shoved 1 million bitchforks up his ass. Oh, all right. Well, guess that's why he's on Odyssey, huh? Mr. Ruckus says Vox is also Asperger's, so take anything with him with a pinch of salt. Eh. Castle Star says Pantera is having a reunion tour with Zakk Wylde from Ozzy's band and the drummer from the band Anthrax. It must be weird getting Anthrax in the mail, right? Melvin Must Die says, did you see the FNT chat giving EVS a shout out, including Razor Fist? Gary was seething internally. Yeah, man, like having glasses that magnify your eyes like 20 times really makes it hard to hide your emotions. So, just saying. Watch out for that, right? I mean, especially when Razor Fist is saying something like, how do you get out there in front of that anyway? How do you correct Razor Fist, right? You can't. You got to let that train go.
Yeah. Otherwise, you wind up like Micah.
Yeah. What a dumbass. Mr. Ruckus says, small government for the win. Yeah, exactly.
Pinochet and monarchism. Liberty and free helicopter rides for all.
Shout out. Yeah, he's correcting his spelling there. Deadwood Dale stole so many memes. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Ruckus. It was kind of his forte. James Hayes says, we understand Cider speaks Canadian as his first language. Sure. Why not? Stavros G says, Gary has always been a grifter and a piece of crap. Everybody's got opinions about Gary. Everybody's got them. I don't hate him, but I don't want to have coffee with him, you know?
So, for whatever it's worth, I'm pleased. I'm not made of money, so I'm not going for a $35 comic. He says he's not going to do. Eric says he's not going to do digital. Although he kind of makes it sound like maybe one day. So I'll wait for that because I'd be interested in reading the story, but I'm not into comic collecting. I've never understood comic people who are like, oh, that's like the big thing about it is not the reading it, it's the collecting it. And it's like, which is ironic because I actually have turned into a comic collector because I don't manage to read most of the ones I've bought.
Oopsies.
Welcome back, Mr. Castle.
My girlfriend knows how to cook a mean wiener.
Gotta go fast. Everybody Loves Cthulhu says, is this two separate stream topics? One covering Jesse Lee Peterson and the other one covering the movie Under Siege?
Wasn't
No.
Under Siege a Steven Seagal movie?
Yes.
Is there an echo in here?
One of his very few good ones.
No, it's the weed.
Yeah, I'm seeing into the future.
No, it's two separate stream topics. Jesse Lee Peterson being Under Siege is the primary topic, which we'll get to very shortly. But first, we were discussing Vox Day and one of the people that he reads.
Personally, I thought we were going to start reading scripture again.
Oh, no. Said last time, should have invited Mike Miller for scripture reading. He might have enjoyed that. Anyway, so
in other words, thank you for tuning in for tonight in Black Men in the News.
yes, writing
For our southern friends,
writing a
Black
Gary
Sunday.
Stu comic. Now we do not actually know that it's a Gary Stu comic because there's two parts to Gary Stu is the male version of Mary Sue. There's two parts to that trope, though. There's the self-insert part, which we do actually know that it is kind of sort of a self-insert because Ripa ran track or whatever, and his main superhero or his first superhero, whatever, in the Ripaverse is a speedster. So it's essentially, yes, a self-insert. But it also has to be like shittily written, you know, because Ensign Mary Sue came from some Star Trek fanfic written way the fuck back in Was it the 60s or the 70s?
It was shortly. It was in the second season of the show that Mary
Ah.
Sue showed up in the fan letters to the show. I believe it was like 72.
So like really early Star Trek fanfic. And,
Yeah, like green Captain Kirk shirt early.
Yeah, and one of the part of the trope there is that she's better at the Mary Sue character is better at everything than the established characters. She's better
And
at
everyone
science
loves
than
her.
Spock, and better at medicine than McCoy, and better at engineering than Scotty, and better at command than Kirk. And yes, everyone loves her. And if such a character dies, it's only because she was too good for this world. So there's a lot of things. Trust addict excellence. Referencing Gary.
Did y'all hear about the bowling alley shooting today?
Oh God,
No,
I'm not making a joke.
another FBI wind-up toy. I'm assuming.
Well, it says 1 dead, 2 wounded in shooting at East Bay area bowling alley. And just 2 ways to get a strike.
Jesus, man.
God. Oh man, the comedy stylings of Mr. Castle.
I really hope somebody did say a one-liner like that.
What a
Oh, it's a
pinhead
7-10
move.
split right up the middle.
Oh,
7-10 split right up the chest.
already discussed
Sorry.
Under Siege. Even for 5 seconds counts. EBS said on Cecil's stream that doesn't want to make peace with Friday Night Tights guys because Jeremy and his ego. Well, can't blame him for that. Although I would have thought that what I've seen, what I've paid attention to, has been more of a jackass towards Ethan than anybody else on that crew.
Pepe Salvia says, comics are downstream from meth babies. If you're fighting the culture war there, it's already too late. You have to fight it, the headwaters of culture, gay Eskimo gangbangs and Ukrainian cuckboys.
Interesting.
Well, on a lighter news, there was a Montana crash and 2 kids were among 6 deaths.
How's
Hey,
that
Mike.
better?
Did I say lighter news? I meant darker.
Oh, I
Well,
meant
it's
the opposite.
Montana.
Did I say
Montana, nobody lives there.
Did I say something nice? Oh, I meant the opposite. Jeez. Mr. Ruckus says, I watched Our Flag Means Death, and the second episode had Blackbeard raid a French Navy ship trying to bring French bread to the natives, and they surrendered. One of the best scenes in a modern comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Ruckus says Ripper stuff looks generic. Yeah, that's really my main complaint. Because again, you can't. 93 pages. I can't really nail down what's going to be in there, guys. So I can't say if it's going to be shit or not. The only thing it's not going to be is short. That's what I can tell you. But the thing about the designs is that just about every character he's shown off is just. It feels like a Hero Machine. You remember Hero Machine? You ever use that? It's like
Yes.
a clip art generator. You could like pile on layers of clip art armor and logos and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to play with.
Yeah, it's fun to play with, but I don't want to be mean, Rippa, but man, some of these designs feel like, they were generated hitting randomize in that Hero Machine. It just seems really bland and disconnected. One of my biggest critiques is that Isom, the leader, or Isom, the leader there, the main character, he has the cross right above his crotch. The Christian cross is less than 4 inches above his pelvic bone.
Yeah,
Power of crotch
that looked a
compels
little.
you.
That looked a little weird.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like, please just hire somebody who designs fashion or something. Go over to Fiverr. Just take 5 minutes and talk to somebody who does this stuff for a living and kind of give them the opportunity to take a whack at this. Because what you got right now is, wow. You got Yaira's another one. She's really a really basic design. I feel like that's like Lady Sif with a color shift. Took her cape off. And it just needs more work, man. I'm not trying to tell you to give up. I'm not trying to tell you your stuff's shit, but it just needs more work. It just needs a little bit more design room.
This is taking a whack at it. Really, the best phraseology to be using when we're talking about crosses above someone's crotch. I mean,
Yeah, so that dawned on me a little too late, and I just stuck with it though. You know, like going down with the ship. I was like, we're made it this far.
yes, fair enough. Just
You know, I keep thinking about this Montana crash story, and I'm trying to wonder if one of the 6 deaths was a scarecrow.
You know, that would be a really neat episode of CSI Who Gives a Fuck? You know, like out in the middle of nowhere, flyover country, like they find a body, but there was actually a scarecrow that had a body inside of it that got hit in a plane crash, totally unrelated to what happened to the plane. So there's 2 mysteries to solve here. Like, how did a dead body become a scarecrow? And then what took the plane out of the sky? It was aliens. It was aliens.
it's always aliens.
CSI Who Gives a Fuck this fall on CBS.
And I think the only version of CSI I really enjoyed was the Gary Sinise one, New York.
Don't worry, everybody. Gary Sinise is here. It's okay now. That whole series was Gary Sinise saving the day.
Pretty much.
Einbrecht, we all know your favorite episodes from that series were the rape ones.
With what?
The rape episodes.
Oh man, the one that gets me to this day is the taxi driver that was boiling women to get the scent out of them.
Oh God, I don't even remember
That one still sticks with me. Like, I think of that sometimes when I'm making dinner. I'm like, damn, that smells good. And like, all of a sudden, that ridiculous fat guy boiling women comes to my mind. I'm like, I'm not hungry anymore.
Do y'all like chili?
Depends on the kind.
Not the Soylent Green kind thing.
I mean, our voices are very, very different. Cider's got more of a pep in his step is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Is he?
I still have
hope.
hope.
I would have to assume that he's the chaplain, surely.
No, he's definitely the chaplain.
Angela Schmalke says, "As really need to get laid." You know, some things are even outside of God's ability, and I think that's one of those, right? You know,
Anatomically impossible.
There's a woman out there for everybody, but that guy. I'm sorry. That's just a fact. You know, sometimes you have to accept it.
By as, do we mean heel versus babyface?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they meme this guy as an overweight baby man all the time. I mean, there is no woman out there that's going, maybe today's the day that I lower my standards below the floor.
God.
Jim Turner says, Comicsgate was defeated by the malt liquor chuggers already. That was the defining battle of our civilization. It's like the Aztecs versus the Spaniards, only it's just a bunch of drunk guys in ski masks.
You know what just dawned on me? I started talking about 2 kids dying and Einbrecht shows up.
I mean, I'm cooking, so that doesn't help either.
Is this about Jesse Lee Peterson? Eventually, when we get there.
I noticed that Einbrecht sounds a lot like Cider today. Very odd.
We're not that far away, eh? Just a hop, skip, and a jump over to Forest as the crow flies.
Yeah, pretty well. You joke, but it's basically 10 minutes to the border for me, and then you're about an additional 10 to 15 from there, which, yeah.
10 to 15. No, man, you got. Whoa, no.
Einbrecht, we get it. We know where you're going to hide when you hop the border.
It's true. It's true. Elvis didn't die. He just came up to Maine, bought a lake house.
Yes. Riververse is super generic. Every character looks like it was put through a random generation machine with generic setting max. He will get hurt, but then become super overpowered at every fight. I hope not.
You know, Pepe brings up a big point about this. This is my first guess about Isom, is that he's going to be like an All Might character where he comes out of retirement, starts dealing with younger heroes as sort of their mentor, and starts guiding them about how to be a proper hero. So I really got All Might vibes out of him.
I mean,
you just described it like a Black Liam.
I honestly like the idea of the mentor character, so I'm totally fine with that if that's his angle.
Yeah, just
Stavros.
raise the cross up. Just bring it up. Just put it over his heart. It'll look even cooler if it's a big chrome cross over his heart.
I swear to
He
God, if
finds
the line
all of
"suck my
Fandom
cross"
Menace
isn't in
annoying,
that book.
apparently. Which I can't really, I don't really watch the Fandom Menace people. Some of them seem like fine folk, like Gary seems okay, but for the most part, I really don't watch them.
Wrong audience. Wrong audience. Don't say it. Wrong audience. Everybody in here has been taking a piss out of Gary all fucking night, man. You come in, you're like, Gary's not that bad.
No,
Can I address one point? Who the fuck names their kid Gary?
Really.
I'm sorry. Do you hate your fucking child? Who the
Yes,
fuck?
sir. I
who
come
the
from a
fuck-
long line of Garys. Yes, sir. Gary the Eighth.
Pepe Silvas is blonde superhero with boobs. Military superheroes wearing green called Alpha Corps. Black hero with almost Islamic name, but will undoubtedly be Christian.
Well, yeah, he's got the cross right there.
I thought the real Einbrecht
You know.
is here. Forgive my earlier Einbrecht cider mix-up senior moment. Ah, yes. I've had many senior moments, and I'm not a senior yet.
It's like having North America in stereo. Sorry.
With the cross being above the character's crotch, if that book does not once say "suck my cross," I'm returning it.
Be prepared to be let down. But I'm sure somebody in the fan art community has already done it.
Yes.
I'm not
Continues
sure
his
what this is
bullying.
referencing.
No, the furries one. Oh,
I don't know what the furries one is. There's a lot of furry books out there, but I'm not sure which one. Jim Turner said, whoop, go ahead, man. It's your show.
Boiling people would really get you some scent before you got rid of the scent. Yeah. Mr. Ruckus says he summons Prime.
Hello.
Oh, shit. Just like that.
I smell baloney.
Only the best German bologna, my friend.
I mean, well-made bologna is actually pretty delicious, but the stuff you get in the supermarkets is horrible.
Oh God, yes. It's just leftover meat grinded together.
Yeah,
From puppies?
If you get a real bologna, whatever you want to call it, it's essentially like ground up chicken. You get chicken, beef, and a little bit of pork in it, and like turn it into like a.
No, wait, are you
almost like
talking
a
about regular
sausage roll.
bologna or black bologna?
I can only stand all beef bologna.
I was watching Julia Child the other day, one of her reruns, and they were using I think it's an Italian bologna. The slice was as big as a fucking pizza.
Wow.
Silva says he's creating a generic new comic called Generic Man, and his super generic friends of cliche backgrounds being advertised through clickbait media strategy and sold to brain-dead Meebles.
So, wait, Prime. They're making new Julia Child episodes? Because she died in 2004. Did they do the Bob Barker thing and put her corpse on strings or something?
That Australian free network TV station called Dabble does reruns of her show sometimes.
Oh. I was going to say, that bitch is dead.
I know, she's been dead for quite a while.
Isom is going to be a Naruto style story. He will eventually defeat his enemy through the strength of will and overly complex fighting strategy. Everyone will join him because of the power of friendship. Ah, yes. Scottish magic, says Mr. Ruckus. Yes. Helmet says Bologna is called mortadella in Italy and Germany.
Yep, that's what they were calling it on the episode I was watching. It's a really big slice of bologna, like the freshest you can get on the market.
Yeah, the good shit that I was just talking about.
Yeah, the one episode I was watching that was, I think it was like 1992, and apparently they said at the time you could not actually import it into the States.
So that's a weird commercial. My bologna has a weird name. It's MORTADELLA. That doesn't flow as well as Oscar Myers.
It doesn't.
See where they changed it.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're not going to start singing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song, are we?
Mr. Ruckus said we need to convince EVS to call Gary Gaza. What's Gaza?
It's a British name. It's what Yarbos call Garys. It's a short nickname for Gary.
Okay.
that literally has more
Spider
letters
just
than
said,
Gary.
"No, go ahead. It's your show." To Einbrecht when he accidentally interrupting and totally ignores Alasi.
So how about the next comment?
Sent Jesse the link. Oh God, wouldn't it be funny if like either Jesse Lee Peterson, or Jesse Milestone showed up? I'd probably die.
Jesse Lee shows up. He's like, these motherfuckers. Oh wait, I'm a priest. These people.
By the way, speaking of people avoiding, Cider, have you been receiving Ruckus's messages?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Ruckus is mortadella is another word for leftover meat. I did not know.
So is baloney.
Pepe Silva, I guarantee Isom equals Naruto. I know black people because I'm 1/16 black. We black people have a hard on for Naruto. We love anything the hyperactive numbskull ninja gets up to in our favorite mangas. Sir, I must correct you here. It is mangers. Or mangers if you're completely retarded.
Oh boy.
Japanese comic book.
You know, that's interesting because yellow and black. Orange and black, orange and black. You know?
Yeah.
The Naruto's colors from Shippuden.
True.
I thought you were going to say the orange are the new blacks.
No. That's interesting now that he brings up those colors. That you bring up the Naruto colors. That's very interesting.
All right, my chicken should be done. I'll be right back. I'm making pita.
On this episode of Black Men in the News, Einbright cooks chicken.
Yes. Though I don't believe. Well, we do have South African in our family, but it's not the black variant.
You don't say.
Yes, I don't say.
You could have fooled me.
Brett wants to try that out. He just goes to the dark side of town.
Mortadella. I feel like you'd meet somebody named that in Italy. Like Jacoby Mortadella.
Okay, so waste enough time on this, but 2 more quick points. Where the villain is racism. I haven't heard anything to indicate that Rippa's villain is racism.
No, isn't what brings Avery out of retirement gangbangers fucking with his sister? Isn't that what brings him out of
something like that.
Yeah, so last I checked, not too many skinheads in the gangbanger crews, and yeah.
And then this further down, there's this line: Eric July and the Blaze Daily Wire Axis. The Blaze and the Daily Wire don't have anything to do with this. He spent his own money. He owns it outright. It's his. And
are they going to promote their boy? Absolutely. This is their guy. They like what Eric does. Obviously, they bring him on, so they're going to promote what he does. It's the same thing that happens on the smaller level.
So, anyway, this seems like Vox Day not listening to his own advice about waiting to see how things work out before making commentary about it. Instead, it feels like this is, hey, let's get right in there with some hot takes.
Manger.
Three-line nose. Okay.
3-line nose. Anyway, Pepe Sylvia says, mangers is what racists call black people who love Japanese anime and manga. It's a pejorative created by dwarven mentality decrepit ginger homos. Dwarven mentally decrepit ginger hobos. I'm so sorry.
I have no idea how to contact the man.
Just put the Jesse Lee Peterson signal into the sky. He'll get back to you. Helmet says, I just had a big doner kebab. Doner kebab, and the privilege to not have an abusive Mexican girlfriend around me, enjoying it. Wink, Mr. Castle. Wink.
She's white. Get it right.
Yeah, you know, I feel really kind of like under attack after that Alex Stein guy said that AOC had a big juicy Latina booty. That is a lie. That is a terrible and horrible lie, and I think the UN should censor him for that. Really, we need to make sure that misinformation like that does not get out because we don't need young men looking at that and thinking that is a big juicy Latina booty. That is
Well, it
entirely
was actually her
misinformation.
that said the juicy part, not him.
Oh, okay. So again, we need to make sure that the UN takes action against this because we can't have misinformation like that getting around. It changes elections.
Mm.
Pepe Sylvia says, Isom Avery comes out of retirement because his sister is gay gang banged by gang banging gang bangers. This is reliable information. I have sources. No, I don't think it's that simple, but John Malin pointed out that there's some odd art in there, some odd hand placement going on, perspective issues. So hopefully in the coming issues, Ripa gets those things sort of corrected. But from what I see, it just seems to be organized crime gone awry.
Oh, Mr. Ruckus says he has re-invited you to Pangea Cider.
Okie dokie. Send me the link to another stream, Travis. That's great. He's been on fire lately. Like they were talking about him most of the stream with EVS. They were talking about Jabba most of the time.
Foxday just does things. There's no real reason for what he does anymore. Well, I hope he's not that far gone, but
No.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to go check on something for Jabba. 1 second. I'll be AFK for like 2 minutes.
okay. Saw a soy man cry because Greg's ran out of vegan rolls. It made me happy. Okay, well, I was going to ask.
Jim Tuner, don't remind people, okay? Jim Tuner says, wasn't the juicy booty of AOC and the cider AOC fan fiction? I think it was a major plot point.
Oh.
I'm going to find t-shirts of this.
Apparently.
I'm going to be like cruising Alibaba, right? And I'm going to find like
Is it
cider
for or
hearts
against
AOC.
It's largely, we're largely, I guess, on Jesse's side because I say that not because we're saying that he's not gay. Like that's what is what these people are saying about him is that he's a homo predator. Well, we don't know for sure whether he is or isn't. If he is gay, we don't fucking care. But we do not find the people that are accusing him to be the slightest bit credible. They are a bunch of fucking weirdos, and their stories occasionally change and don't make any fucking sense. So, F vegan rolls. Yes, F everything vegan.
Jabba, I just want to tell you that Yellow Flash has still not had a Discord server update, so still waiting on that, and then I'll shoot you a link. Well, don't everybody stop talking about what Pepe Silva had to say. Jeez.
Oh, Pepe Silva says, on at least a dozen pages of ISOM, there are characters making the Go-Go Spider-Man hand symbol while they finger blast ghetto bitches. I am starting to get suspicious. Huh.
It's about to become not hood good in the hood.
Hang on, Ruckus. I'll share your meme. 1 second. Okay, can we move our faces? Because there we go. This is what's going on right here. We got Martin Francis, and we have Jesse Lee Peterson. Poor Jesse Lee Peterson.
What is this? Discount Captain Jack Sparrow? What am I looking at?
Oh, this right here is this is what we should call Cancer Man right now.
Oh,
He's literally got I think it's a cancerous ulcer that he said that he peeled the skin off and oozed the yellow stuff out on his other video we watched.
Ugh.
This man looks like he has a vision range of 180 degrees.
That, and he could possibly be the new Momo of the YouTube stream. You remember that creepy thing that used to pop up on children videos? Yeah.
Yes.
But this is a great meme. Thank you, Ruckus. Thank you.
oh, Ray is streaming and she's not, and she's shouting. She isn't clapping. Okay, I'm not interested.
No clapping. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Until the clapping starts, I don't care. 28,000 backers, 2.5 million, day 7 to 75, or more money from one book and box day has made in his entire career. All right, all right. Yeah, streaming and shouting. Ezra Miller must have done something, or somebody did something that did Ezra. God. How can you get so mad about celebrities, right?
Good point. Never
Like, I don't
trust a man who
care.
cannot focus his eyes.
Like, I don't care if, like, Scarlett Johansson got her tits cut off and fucking Angelina Jolie got jealous and did the same thing. I don't care. It's not ruining my life. You know?
Okay, if we're going to talk about celebrities, I'm going to go back to my dead forum and just look up who died this week, okay? Hang on, let me go find out.
Before you go, can you send me the link to the car crash video?
Oh, yeah, sure. 1 second.
Is Ray meaningful without Testify to kick around? Well, she's trying to kick John around, but it just doesn't have the same effect, you know? Ha!
Videos in private chat.
Thank you.
Pepe Silva says, the title of my new Alien vs. Predator meets Liam fan fiction is called The Ultimate Hobo Homo Predator 2, Come Hunt in the Jungle. Wow, that's a really long title. It'll look great on a movie poster.
Oh, this is great. You just got to watch this. I laugh every fucking time.
Peterson. Martin Francis here. How are you?
Yes, my dead form. Pay attention to the sidewalk.
And in your whole career, I am first man in your whole career that you have run from. Like the chicken song that you play. You are running from me. You're running from your what you've been doing for 31 years.
Bro.
Get us killed here. Jesse's so upset that he tried to cross the street before he should have, and caused these cars to stop and bash into each other. So that's because.
So, did you catch that, Cider?
Kind of. So
Jesse stopped at the edge of the crosswalk, and Martin, to keep the camera on his face, stepped out into the road and caused a wreck. And then he accuses Jesse of being the one who did it.
I was just gonna say, this is like the weirdest game of Frogger I've seen. Mal says he preaches a lot about women being evil. Don't enjoy sex with your wife, and don't be nice to your wife. If you are gay, be gay. Don't try to turn men against women. Jim Tuner says, arise, testify, arise! Mr. Ruckus says he has beta eyes. Show Martin. Mal says he has Beta Davis eyes. Mr. Ruckus says he has inbreed of the eyes.
Of the eyes. Inbreed of the eyes. Okay.
I now have video proof, more so than before.
Are they just walking away from this accident?
Oh, that's nice.
They're just
He wants
walking
me
away
to tell
from the fucking
them
accident.
how I was sleeping with my brother's wife. That's fine.
This is like the
But Jesse-
reverse of a hit and run.
Did you hear what they said?
No, I was just too distracted by like just GTA 5ing out. Like, whatever, dude, give me another star. See you later. What the fuck?
Than before. Oh, that's nice. He wants me to tell them how I was sleeping with my brother's wife. That's fine. But Jesse,
Doesn't deny
why
it.
will you not speak on your homosexual behaviors?
They just fuck off after causing an accident.
Yes.
Martin does not deny. Oh, he does
Adultery, yes, but that's like a GTA 5. That's what you do at GTA. You just walk out and people stop and cause an accident. You just keep cruising. If you don't like fucking throw C4 at them and blow up their car or whatever. Holy shit, that happened in real life. Two dudes caused a fucking traffic accident and then just nope the fuck out.
Well,
Holy
speaking
shit.
of GTA, do you want to see what Francis looks like? He looks like Trevor.
No, this is the guy that was running him down the street?
Yeah. Show the other video. It's in the private chat. I put it in here. You're gonna love this. Crickets. Dead air. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
well, I
rock or
don't
something.
know what's happening.
There he is. It's Trevor.
Oh. What?
This is a guy.
Okay,
who caught a
everybody,
car crash.
it's showtime with Patrick Rooney. Oh, man.
God.
It's showtime with Patrick Rooney. Tomorrow, Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And for you people in the middle of the country, figure it out yourselves, okay? Who am I? Yo, daddy? No, so we're going to be discussing some really great and important issues to your life.
He's
Because
so
what is
excited
it
to
about
discuss
all the
gay
news
sex.
and sports and the happenings in your life and ours and the world and all that stuff? If you're not having perfect peace all the time inside yourself and you're able to be a gentleman. So look us up
This motherfucker runs around.
tomorrow, Saturday. Go to oldschoolus.com. It will be a live feed, and we will be discussing the most important things and the most important question
God.
you could possibly come up with.
Screenshot.
All right. So do yourself a favor and us a favor and come on over and watch and comment. And I've discussed with Patrick, by the way, that when someone makes some great comments, you should be able to send them a link immediately so they can get on the show and then say what they want to say and then get off the show, you know, that kind of thing. And so people aren't just stuck in the what's that world called where you just type in what you want to type. Oh man, I'm not good at this stuff.
No shit,
You know,
Sherlock.
oh, by the way, you see that patch of red right there? Okay. I tore off the just for you cancer fans.
He
I
did it
tore
in
off
French
the scab
horns.
and
Thank
all
you.
kind of
So
yellow,
kind.
ugly cancer juice was underneath, and I mopped it up and everything. And now I'm going back to a more pure diet, away from chicken and stuff. It's just lentils and vegetables, no fruit, no nothing else.
Right. Get away from that
And
chicken.
it's already helped. And then
As I'm doctoring up my
okay,
chicken
so
fajitas, this
that was just an
motherfucker
aside.
right here.
But the important thing is you want to know how to like cancer don't scour me. Okay, I've got 2 of them, and it's like I have none of them with my attitude. And I want to teach you guys how to do that yourselves. We're going to answer a really big time question of mine. Okay, so make sure you tune in. You will get your money's worth. You're not giving any money, but you will get your time's worth, which is more important than money. All right. So hope to
Okay.
see you there. Thank you very much. I'll have a link in the description as usual. And God bless you. It's tomorrow, Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, oldschoolus.com, but I'll have a link in the description. Thank you again. Bye.
Thank you again. Fuck off.
I just want to let everybody know that we are number 4 on the search for Jesse Lee Peterson on YouTube.
Nice.
dear.
Also, this motherfucker wants to talk about being a gentleman when he spends his time running around harassing some fucking retarded elderly old black man.
One might say it's very gay.
Extremely gay. Also, he seems like, have you noticed how oddly happy these guys are to be talking about their alleged homosexual affairs with Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yes.
And they don't, like, their voices do not comport with the emotions they allege to have felt.
Exactly.
Like, we were abused, and they're all smiles, and you can fucking hear the mirth in their voice and see that they're clearly not distressed. It's like, bro, you're gay. Just accept it.
You want to see them protest before the cops show up? It's about 5 minutes.
Good protest.
Oh, yeah. Remember the cop video we watched the other day where the cops showed up? Well, I found the video before the cop shows up. So now we get to see what the hell they were saying outside before the cops were called. I put it in the private chat again.
Somebody read Pepe's chat here.
Oh, okay. Pepe Silva says, my favorite story is Isam, is when he uses his super speed force ability to handjob an entire army of homo gay gang bangers and force come them prematurely before they can gay rape his sister. You wanted me to read that, didn't you, son of a bitch? Oh, that's a lovely comment. Mr. Ruckus, it's not inbreeding, it's the meat. He scares me, Jim Tuner. Monkeypox on the forehead.
I'm pretty sure that's like stage 4 cancer AIDS. Like, he's worse than Jim.
They have fan fiction which conflicts each other. Yes, they do.
I was the one getting raped that day, not you. I have a meme if you want to share it before we get too far. There we go.
Ugh.
Oh, don't do that to Ricky Berwick.
What?
I would trade 1,000 Ricky Berwicks to never
Well, look
see
at the
that
meme.
man again. Oh.
Sire found Ricky's father.
Oh, that's
That's all I could think of was like, what if Ricky Berwick was like created by Klaus Schwab? It's like I kept thinking like this is the World Economic Forum version of Ricky Berwick.
It'd be the first attempt at revenge by a Jew.
Either that or this is Ricky Berwick when he got legs.
I don't know. Ricky Berwick's eyes are more even than the other guys.
Well, he hasn't taken meth yet, Einbert.
James Hayes says, if Jesse Lee Peterson wanted to go gay, I am sure he could do that better than whatever those people are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Turner says, not sure any of these guys have real emotions.
Well, I'm sure he's living on veg and cum. Yeah, probably. Nurgle's gifts are given to Merton. Yes. Yes, I see Ruckus also recognizes him as a devoted follower of the grandfather. Every time Einbrecht says comport and makes a deduction, he definitely becomes the Columbo of the stream, whereas Prime is the rookie Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs. Poor guy. Oh, no.
Tell me what the clams hurt. Mm.
Bro, we have to watch the parody of that movie.
Yeah, we do.
Hello. So we're here in Los Angeles and we're at the Brotherhood Organization of New Destiny. And there's been some revelations of some real sexual deviancy. And we're here protesting the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson because it's the right thing to do. We're not angry or judging him, but there's been some really serious things come to light. And it's very, very serious, and it proves that Jesse has lived a lie
Seriously, it's
for
very
all these
serious.
years, that he says good things, but he doesn't live up to them. And he's represented pure salvation, that you're free of sin and free of anger, and he's not been. So that's a real issue, and we're, in a sense, forcing the issue, but not, just within our rights to do that. And it's the right thing to do. So we got some poster boards out here, and they're angry at us for being here. The people who won't stand up to Jesse. Jesse's just not free of sin. He's not. He's done
No one
sexual
is,
perversion
dipshit.
acts and other things. And Martin
There's no
Francis
such thing
here
as a
has
human being
lived
that
with
would-
Jesse for what? How long?
25 years.
25 years,
actually
and he's an
read the
eyewitness. Jesse has actually made.
Like, legitimately, if you actually bother to read the Bible, we're born in sin. Period. No one is free of sin.
You sound like Bill Cosby.
Pudding pops.
Put pups.
This is
Unlike Bill
Fabian.
Cosby, though, he didn't have to get the bitches high to have sex with them.
Exactly.
This is Fabian operating the camera, I'm guessing.
Oh, good old Fabian.
Sounds like
Made
it.
a
Mr.
move on Martin sexually,
That's me, the Bible go-to guy. Lived with Jesse 25 years.
and he tried to go
25
down
years.
his pants.
You need to talk to me afterwards to do that.
Good. I think that's look. We got to use Martin, right?
Yes. So
Frankie gave us that scout look.
Jim Valerio has been a big supporter of Jesse for many years. He actually helped him get his bond house. And I mean, what do you have to say, Jim, about this?
Shock and disappointment.
Yes,
But I think
Angela.
we're
There
here
are some
because we're doing
striking
one thing.
similarities between weirdos
The
like
truth
Vicky
needs to get
Verse
out,
and these.
and that's all we're trying to do. We're not angry. We're not hostile. This is just absolutely an abomination what Jesse's been doing for 25 years.
Imagine that.
right
They're all
underneath
halfway
our
house
noses.
people.
And now all we're doing is getting out the truth. A lot of people don't like it.
All
Over time,
we're
they will
doing.
realize that this is true. Everything we're doing right here
Is that a
Don't show me.
California thing?
All
Oh,
we're doing? I
No,
don't have
legitimately,
no idea.
if Martin has a parole officer, we need to show his parole officer the video of him violating traffic,
Yeah.
where he causes that accident.
That's
And Gary Nerdrotic, he says that. Alls.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Alls we need to do is whatever. Yeah.
Oh, it's like my grandmother with her obsession with saying unthaw the meat. And I had to explain to her hundreds of times, no, Nana. That's to unthaw something would be to refreeze it. Because to thaw something is to unfreeze it. I love my grandmother, but
Somebody read the comment.
Pepe Silva says most people don't know the isms. I'll advise story arc ends with superhero ism, aka Avery and Darren Fontano Doc. They're shorn uncircumcised penises together in the first non-gay docking in history.
First non-gay docking. No, docking is always homosexual. Tutu says this seems like a homeless guy shakedown of a church for money, not unusual. No, it's fairly common. Also, all of these people have. That's correct. Every single one of them. If you look into them, they haven't done anything that I've seen yet that is like particularly egregious. But they're they're all junkies and or criminals, minor criminals, but criminals all the same.
I'm waiting for the part where they start saying that I guess he told them to look directly into his ass and yell.
My favorite one, though, is definitely Fabian with this whole, he was in chat bitching people out for not immediately believing their stories. And then one dude comes at him and goes, "Have you had a homosexual encounter?" And he refuses to say no. He's just like, "What does that have to do with anything?" Like, bro. What? Silva says, "I'm glad that they are just willing to protest against a gay rapist molester, and they won't judge him. Good people. No one should ever judge a rapist molester. They are good peoples." Yes. Yes, they sure are, Pepe.
Absolutely true. Saying about Jesse, read the signs. Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
And Martin, you were a major supporter financially of him for many years, and you were under the impression
In every
that
way
he
you can be
really
a supporter, that was me.
he
yes.
was really a righteous, free of sin man.
That's what he portrays himself.
But
righteous. He doesn't sin anymore.
Probably.
He's not angry. He's not fearful. But he's all those things.
Right.
He's a sexual deviant and has been for many, many years.
Because you tell the audience what you said about pornography.
I rented 3 months worth of pornography for him, all 6 channels. He
Oh
all
my
6
God.
channels, on DirecTV, channels 595 to 600. He tried to turn me. He tried.
What did he do?
There's many times where he tried to.
Let's get away from the door, guys.
Provoke me into homosexual sex. But I'm not one, so
right.
I didn't buy into it. And after a while,
No. Pause there for a second.
Let's not do this huggy stuff.
That's funny. That's particularly funny because that's a low-key call-out to all the guys that did buy into it and allegedly fuck Jesse Lee Peterson. He's low-key calling everybody else involved in this situation homos. Like, and that's if we believe any of them, which I believe none of them for the record. But that statement there, if we're to take all of their stories as true, he's low-key he's doing the little girl thing. He's doing that, "I'm not saying you're all faggots, but you're all faggots."
So essentially, he's just grifting to see if he can get some money.
Probably.
I mean,
what are these guys hoping to get? Do they just want to cancel Jesse? Probably.
Well, they want money.
Probably a little bit of monetary. They want money, and they probably want to cancel him because it sounds like this guy feels personally aggrieved by Jesse in some way. Oh my God, this guy is DA talk. He's like if DA talks were like 15 years older, white, and more retarded. Memes are coming. Oh no.
Yeah, there's memes. I'm seeing them now.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you guys shown the Jesse Lee Peterson meme that Ruckus made?
Yes.
Yeah, we just showed it earlier.
Okay. Yeah. I would guess that there is a shakedown for money going on in the background. Churches help lowlifes, and lowlifes will always search for a way to sue them. Yes, that's correct. They do this frequently. It's evil people do evil shit. I'm surprised Vicky's not there. I mean, technically speaking, Fabian's the Vicky of the group. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Although maybe it's more appropriate to call Patrick Rooney
I'll be back,
Vicky of
y'all.
the group, where Patrick is
Good luck.
balding as well.
Okay. So Patrick Rooney's the Vicky, Francis is the DA talks. So what would make the other two dipshits then?
What happened?
I mean, Samuel's such a little bitch. He's a little girl. So
Okay, so he's sneak peek.
We lost Mr. Castle again.
Yeah, he
to
had
go.
chili dog related.
Oh my.
Gotta go.
Ooh.
Gotta go fast.
He's gonna
You
go
gotta
fast
go,
in
you
his
gotta
pants
go.
if he's not fucking quick to that bathroom. Do you believe Jesse wants men attracted to men or women? He never talks about how beautiful or nice women are. I don't think he likes women, to be entirely honest, and I don't see a problem with that. Given his upbringing and how his mother didn't want him, it wouldn't surprise me for a second if he's a full-on misogynist. And I'm not using that word the way the left uses it. I'm using it in its actual intended I believe he dislikes women by virtue of his experiences, not because they're not necessarily, but it's just, I don't know, man. I think he's a fairly, from what I've seen of him, he's a fairly myopic thinker. He's funny as hell. Like, I like listening to the meme videos where he shits on all these retarded lefties, but at the end of the day, like, I don't really respect him any more than I respect the lefties. He's just a funny meme to me. But that being said, despite him just being a funny meme to me, I have no dog in this race, but I'm still not going to listen to their accusations and take them seriously without verifiable evidence. Because I learned very early in life that motherfuckers do this to each other all the fucking time. Evil people do evil shit constantly. Rape is only a sin if it ends in a bad time. Shame onto these people for trying to de-glorify good, honest rape. Yes. What do they call it when she starts out scared and then she ends up enjoying herself? I think they call it diet rape.
Oh, is that the part where you start choking her and she says harder?
Pretty much.
Feel free to hit like and subscribe for more content just like this.
Yes. Jesse could be gay, but I don't think Jesse's attracted to homeless drug addicts like these guys. Yes, that's precisely the point, Jim Tinner. I suspect, like I said, I suspect even if he is a homosexual, I don't fucking care. I don't think he should be a pastor because I don't want gay people leading the church because I'm weird like that. I know. It just is what it is. For the same reason, I don't want gamblers leading the church, though, if you get what I'm saying. He's far up from on the spectrum. far up on the spectrum. Yeah, probably.
Huggy, stuff like this because I'm just not that way. But yet I didn't think.
What did he do?
Homosexual.
Did he do something
until
beyond?
I heard about him actually having sex with other men.
Yes.
And then I like, oh wow, that fits.
So
what happened to me.
Did he go do something beyond hugging with you?
Yeah.
What, you couldn't think of a term for
there
it?
was one
What the
occasion
fuck?
where he reached his hand under my underwear, going toward
Wow.
my genitals, but
he changed the
touched me
story,
because I didn't
Einberg.
react to it.
He was testing
Right?
you.
I'm a heterosexual.
He was
I
late.
didn't react to
No.
it. But I just thought
This
that was
motherfucker.
kinda like he was playing around or whatever.
Yeah.
Pause.
This motherfucker. The accusation was previously that we'd come lay with him in bed at night.
Yes.
And do that shit. But now it's just like he would like joust with his genitals in the hallway. Like,
remember, he said that he would lay down beside him, reach across, and try to force him to get a hard on. He never said anything about him reaching down into his pants. This is just like the other guy with the fucking damn couch scene all over again. The fucking story changes.
yes, Stavros. Amazing. Yeah, pretty much. That man is a living meme. Even if he turns out to be some weirdo sex pest, we will always have the memes.
Well, your mind
But I didn't
excused
know
it.
he was actually trying to turn me.
Right. Well, yeah. When we believe someone who isn't what they are, our mind will excuse it. Our dark side will excuse it.
Things like that.
Right.
Yes.
It's very.
That
It's
was
very.
really weird and inappropriate.
Yeah. So
He's making jokes
again,
with
we're
this
here
dark
to protest
situation.
Jesse, and we're not angry at him. We're not judging him, but he needs to come clean and be honest with people.
I'm back.
He's not representing Jesus in this way, that he's free of anger and sin. He just isn't. So if people still want to come to his
What did he
church and
rage
they
fuck
know
one of you? What the hell?
they know
What does
these
that mean?
issues, then have at it.
And the Bible go-to guy. I lived with Jesse for 25 years.
Hey, look, there's a girl
So
going in there,
we're
Einberg.
trying to. One of Jesse's
Also,
servants has called the police.
Ruckus-
They're trying to stop us from
Ruckus has a new
protesting.
meme. 1 second while I share it.
Just
Okay, couldn't hear anything that you just said there, Einberg.
Ruckus has a new meme. 1 second while I share it.
Oh, and by the way, this is a good pause because the video that we did earlier, which is the later on version, you can already see the cops have already been called. They're in the background.
Yep.
Yes! Yes! Thank you, Ruckus! Thank you!
It's the sloth behemoth from fucking, what was it, Ice
Holy
Age?
shit! It's
So I lived with Jesse Lee Peterson for 25 years, and then there was this one time we grabbed my dick. And it was really weird. I thought he was trying to turn me, but as it turns out, I was just dreaming. So that's why I'm here today. I'm protesting dreaming.
This would make a perfect fucking meme. Fucking damn Sid sitting there outside Diego's fucking place saying, "Did you know he's a meat eater?"
Yes.
Yes, for all of those people who understand the plots and interpersonal dramas of the Ice Age movies.
Helmet says, who would have thought that Hunter Biden's crack dealer is also Jesse Lee Peterson's son's rape victim? Small world. So Jesse hates women. Why? So build a movement against women because his mother left his dad and his baby mother left him. I don't think it's necessarily that he is building a movement against women. I think he criticizes the idiocy in the hood rat community of North America.
I go back to the video. There's a woman going in there with her husband or boyfriend.
Yeah. He has a serious problem with how modernized black women behave. It seems to be the case. I don't see
white women. Who knows?
Yeah,
they're going
I don't
for
see
marriage
him generally
counseling.
criticizing Asian women or white women. He has a problem specifically with how modern black women behave, from what I've seen.
Yeah. Like they're going, oh yeah. Jim Tuner says, back to Colossals. It doesn't even have a homeless guy religious porn. Just wholesome sharkmen. It's true.
Yes.
The sharkmen are not gay, and nor do they go around accusing other people of sexually harming them in hetero or homosexual manner.
Though they do get their shit pushed in, just in a more figurative sense.
Metaphors.
Phrasing.
Make sure we're not in front of the door because he's trying to see. The cops know we have a right.
Yeah, they're telling him right
So
now,
this is the kind of
Yeah,
thing
you're
that
gonna
they do.
get
They try
left
to,
soon.
They try to do that to me.
I bet the cops
They
don't
try to
even talk
intimidate you to shut down when to shut up when the truth comes out, and it's horrible.
Hashtag resist JLP, right?
If you want to find the real path to being calm and centered, antidoteforall.com, FHU, frankhenryenning.com.
Super vitamin for men.
And
Yep.
it's a lot better than what Jesse's teaching. And thank you for watching.
Yep. Later on, we're going to talk about keeps.
And happy birthday,
you keep your
Jesus.
hair. This protest has been brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends, everybody.
Good old Raid Shadow Legends.
Just waiting for that one.
This protest has been brought to you by rape.
Yeah,
Oh.
Helmet said, I heard he started to have problems with modern day black women after he saw Saggy Melon's live streams. Terrible. The
Ooh,
cops
la
know
cha.
you have warrants. Yep, fair enough.
Jesus.
Dog
What are you
warrants.
typing with? Non-opposable thumbs?
He might be fat finger dialing. I do that sometimes. I know. Oh God, Pepe Silva says, "I know the homo community well. I am 116 homo and can speak truth for them. We homos are only attracted to hairy bears, near hairless twinks, or muscle-bound dock jockeys. We don't like meth homos." Jim Tuner says, preaching to black women about how horrible black women, other black women, is a popular thing. Yes. Look at Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was very similar to Jesse Lee Peterson in many ways, only he was much more successful because he was more eloquent. Again, God rest his soul, man. I genuinely hope he's having tea with God up in heaven right now. Kevin Samuels, I mean.
Oh no.
Told us like a year ago.
Yeah.
But I realized yesterday I still had like the resentment was still there when things get brought up, and so I was really mad at you, and I had to say I just said I was mad. I was thinking like, am I just mad at you for like because this stuff is brought up, or is there something deeper? And we found out there was something deeper because that was the missing ingredient was that it felt like you were kind of making like not excuses. I mean I don't know how to say it, but like yeah, you kind of like I felt like you weren't taking like full responsibility for it, and so that was kind of bothering me. I was like, yes, Jesse, like had you, I mean like you were tricked into it, but
It feels that way because he's not. He keeps on talking about how Jesse helped him commit adultery.
All right, Mal, you're gonna have to show me where he said that women are only for breeding with, that they're not for pleasure.
And Brett, show us on the doll where Jesse touched you.
Legitimately, I need evidence of this because people have a habit of misconstruing what someone actually says in the moment on the internet. Because I know it's hard to believe, but most of the people on the internet, myself included, are fucking retarded in his church service. All right, I will have to check that out for myself because I'm. Nothing against you personally, Mal. I'm not about to take the word of someone on the internet as gospel. That's just not how I function. I require.
That's a nice
evidence for
pun.
it. That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
All right.
Like I still felt like you had your own mind. Like you could have like.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you know.
yeah, and there's
Wrong,
another.
wrong.
Well,
You
hang on,
didn't have no
hang on. Before you
I know.
jump.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Huh?
There's two parts too, because some people said, well, okay, the demon inside him. I saw a different entity come out that day, the first day we did something in the hotel room. The way he looked at me and barked at me, it was very scary and weird. And some people will say, well,
Barked
okay,
at you?
maybe you got, you were like freaked out or whatever the first time you're out of your mind in some way, but what about the other time? So, and that's a fair question. I don't even know if I have a complete answer for that. I'm just throwing it out there to
Yeah,
be
and I'm just saying,
transparent.
like, just to finish real quick, I'm just saying that that was the missing ingredient. Because I was mad. I was like, am I just like, it was one of those moments where, like, you know, because Jesse uses this, like, if you're mad, you must be wrong. So I'm like, I'm mad here. Because I'm sensing there's something else, like, that you're not saying, or not like something that you didn't say before, but like something that needs to be said. And I was mad at, like, something's wrong. And I was thinking, like, is that just me? Am I at fault because I'm angry? But I was like, no, there's something. Usually when I have like intuition like that, something is usually right. And so at the end of the night, you came back and said, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Like, I did.
Einbrecht.
The person you're trying to reach right now is not available. If you'd like to leave a message, please call 1-800-555-5555.
Mal says, well, what do you think about that if he said it? You'll
Going
have to
back
wait
to
till
the
Oh,
previous
go ahead.
comment, that's what he's saying from the comment from 855. So he wants black men to hate black women. What is his motivation for this? Why say don't enjoy sex with your wife and women is only to make babies? So white women you can enjoy sex with in his church service. Well, what do you think about that if he said it? I say find me the link and send it to me, and then I'll tell you what I think of it. I just can't take your word for it. And you could send it to me at Funny in Gondwana on Twitter. You could tag me. There you go.
Martin's thought bubble.
Meth. Yes, precisely.
Have we explained to Cider that Paul is Patrick Rooney's son yet?
Probably
if
not.
Jesus preached online, Einbrecht would be a doubting Thomas when asked for his credit card and social security number.
Womp womp.
These guys, the village people saying about in the YMCA, maybe.
No, the guys that the village people sang about, no, they were. I believe
Even they
Pepe
weren't
Sylvia
gay.
explained it earlier. What's that?
I was saying even the guys being sung about in that song weren't this gay.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked In the Navy better, but that's just me.
I don't disagree. I largely prefer In the Navy out of the two of them.
Gay!
I mean, I am a half faggot. Let's be clear.
James Hayes asks, what kind of drugs is Martin doing to make his eyes dilate like that? The good ones, apparently.
Yeah. These guys never stayed at the YMCA. If it had been about them, it would have been a good song about staying at a homeless shelter, probably.
And just to point out something from earlier, Martin only has one toilet paper roll every month. Just so everybody knows.
Oh, no.
That's awkward.
Yeah, the lone toilet paper roll, which Ruckus made a very good point about the other night.
Yes.
It's probably his only roll for the week.
That's why I said a month.
Pepe Silva says Jim Tuner can shut his mouth about black women. I am the 16th black woman and can speak the truth for big black woman community. We love working at Marvel Comics and not feeding our children. Hashtag BBBBW. Oh, James Hayes says, why is there a toilet paper and an enema pump on Martin's bed? I don't want to know. I am sure Martin's scratching the skin off his thighs right about now, probably. So he can eat the fucking meth scabs later.
Oh god,
Yeah,
the gold member.
Like I take responsibility and stuff. I get like, yeah, there's. I mean,
What?
What I just reminded me of was Austin Powers' gold member. The guy who basically fucking peeled his own skin off and ate it.
Ah, yes. Everybody loves Cthulhu's his valuable sleuthing skills from Prime. They're disgusting but useful.
I mean, he definitely did like a mind control thing. But it was just I needed to hear that so that I could let some more, I guess, resentment go. And I don't know if it's all gone, but like that was a big chunk of it right there. So.
Yeah, and I know, Martin, I'm definitely going to give you your spot here because I know you want to say, we're not at fault and we're in sin and all that. And we need to address everything. I don't want to block any ideas here because that's why you guys are on. I don't block you guys out or told you not to say anything. I want you guys to say whatever's on your mind. So go ahead, Martin. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Patrick. Each and every family member who heard about what you did, Patrick, their reaction is on them. You were what is it called when something is not involved in a chemical process, but it still makes it happen?
Catalyst.
Okay, you guys are not chemistry majors. Okay, anyway, you were like the catalyst. You're like the catalyst, but you're not the actual what's going on with them.
Meth head's a
What's going on with them
chemistry
already had
addict.
anger inside of him, so he reacted angrily to something that shocked him, that he was extremely disappointed about. Same with the other.
It's almost like he wants to be able to cook his own drugs.
Do we know that Paul's not just a
from judging
Jesse
you?
plant?
That's where you get your pain from. That's where that's what anger is. Anger causes pain. Anger
he's
pain.
allegedly Patrick
And so
Rooney's son.
that
so
reaction
there
is on
that.
them. What you did is on you, but their reaction is on them. Now
I'm going to say this though. Wait. Let me. I'll let you keep going, but I just need to kind of butt in a little bit here.
I'll let you finish.
So I disagree in the sense that I did not fully really consider them. In other words, when I was doing this stuff, I was hardly thinking of them. Somebody was trying to get me as a troll by saying, "Oh, I didn't care." Yeah, he's partially right. I didn't care enough about my family. I didn't.
You didn't think you would get caught, is the whole idea.
No.
Committing any crime.
Wait a minute. I didn't care about the effect enough. The effect that my crime had on my family.
Because you didn't see it was having an effect.
Well, I didn't know about it.
They didn't know, and you were keeping it a secret, and it was only really destroying you inside. And
yeah,
and because of that, your lowered spiritual connection with God, of course, affects them in that more indirect way or direct way, right? But as far as them knowing or not knowing, that wasn't affecting them until they knew. And all criminals, everybody who does wrong, whether it's breaking God's law or man's law, they hope and don't expect to get caught, and they rarely plan for when they do get caught, right? And so we can go on and on.
No. It's not. Martin, wait. It's not about getting caught. It's about doing wrong, whether you get caught or not.
When you do wrong, you do calculate whether or not what your chances are of getting caught.
Yeah, but that's not what you would feel. What you're hurting your family with. You're hurting your family by doing the act, not necessarily by whether you get caught or not.
What are they arguing about?
You're hurting them to start with.
I don't.
As soon as you start committing adultery, you're hurting your family.
Yes, they don't feel that hurt. They don't know about anger until they find out about it. Which most people who do wrong do not never expect to get caught.
Metaphysical.
Well, I mean, I agree. Can I say
go ahead, Fat. Yeah, go
ahead. I agree. I like your perspective, Martin. I do. But some of my uncles or aunties, I forgot which of them I saw recently that said this, but said that I think it was my uncle said that even though like we didn't know technically what was going on, we still like there's a spiritual connection that we all have, and like let's say like you're if you had a wife partner, like if you married somebody
with
like,
crystals and shit, yo.
But you would kind of like if you
did he come in your ass, Paul? Is that why you have a fucking spiritual connection with this man?
Every time your father penetrated.
Okay, fine. But then again, we all are messed up spiritually. So how are we to know whether this is just him devolving more by himself? See, you don't know.
Well, let me add another thing into what Paul said. I believe that they do know that the spirit does go through the family, whether you say it or not. Just used to always say, if you do something, never tell your wife and never, all that stuff. But I do believe that they do know, and that also it's kind of like America. America is in a state now, which you might call it in a state of judgment, let's say. Okay. So in a sense, I put my family into a state of judgment to some extent, maybe a biggest extent. You take yourself out of a certain protection zone that you got. If you do certain sins or smaller things or whatever, okay. But as it says in the Bible, sins against the flesh are against your own body, those are the most serious sins of all, even though Jesse says they're not nothing. They're actually the most serious sins.
Yeah.
And if you do these sins, you're putting yourself into a judgment zone, so that you're stepping outside of God's protection, and you're now in the zone of
Right
judgment. I put my family
into
zone,
the
took them out of
judgment
zone.
Judgment
I know that to be
zone.
the case. So these things are real, and they're not
Just
just
me?
one sin does not
Okay.
equal the other or whatever.
No.
And the
Were they
pain.
judged? Were they
I'm
destroyed
being
by God?
quiet because I'm
I
laughing
see them
too
still
much.
standing.
Who's that?
Your family. Were they judged?
No,
Because
no.
Old Testament judging is getting wiped out.
Old Testament judging still exists. You ever see?
No, that's what I'm saying. Did they get wiped out?
No, but they were protected because they didn't do wrong. But the
Old
hedge of protection that
Testament
God put over us was
okay,
pulled back to
I'm
some
working at the
extent. So
Stones.
Yeah.
we can
Stones
have some
tonight.
things happen to us that would normally not happen to us if we were
Right,
in the
because
protection.
you are the head of the family, and you caught and you did. I mean, I know what you're saying, Martin. I mean, our judgment, our lack of forgiveness keeps on pain to us, but it must have been painful for them just to know, just for it to have
Pain
their
is
pain.
from their own judgment. That's
No.
what the pain is from.
You can have
No.
pain without.
I can't
No,
hear
wait,
you
let me
over
finish.
there.
Let me finish the thought real quick.
Yeah,
Just real quick. When anybody harms you, someone slaps you, someone cuts you, whatever, or does something really hurtful, you can feel the pain, but you don't have to feel the hate. Roy used to say that all the time. I mean, it's absolutely true. You can feel pain, but then the pain gets really bad if you judge the
Yeah.
person. That's
Well, if
where
you've got a
it's-
protective bubble around you, you don't even feel the pain because the
Well,
bullets and the knives and all that stuff, they aren't hitting your spiritual body.
Listen,
You don't
man,
even feel the pain.
I'm telling
Maybe,
you what I'm
maybe.
telling you. I'm
I
telling
don't
you
know.
what I experienced here. I'm not talking. I'm not making
Yeah.
I'm not talking about something that's off the top of my head. I'm not saying it's off the top of your head, Martin. But for me, it happened to me. I'm telling you what
Yeah.
happened to me. God
And then
took His protection away to some extent, so we could feel something. It might just like I don't know if Job's a good example, but God did take a protective hedge away from Job so that the devil could get to him for a period of time. Remember?
But see, Martin and I got in this big, debate about like, do we have actually a choice, to do good or evil? And it kind of, I think Martin was not quite understanding what I was trying to say. That I'm not going like, I understand the Bible. I'm not taking my argument from the Bible though, because I know in my life, okay, I was in a similar situation where I was in sin, hiding out, being very cowardly, and not living my life. Okay,
Yes.
and I wallowed in that for 6 years. Every day I knew I needed to take some action, and it was absolute. God was there. He was like not hounding me or pressuring me, but He was always there. So I finally, okay, I realized I'm not going to get over this anger I have. That's horrible if I continue on this way. So I chose to take the step and do the thing that I need to do, like go back to bond and look at my judgment and separate from the judgment. That was a choice, but that doesn't see. The thing is, I felt my conscience was about to leave me. Literally, it was the most horrible. It was really, really scary. It was. You guys don't know how scary that is. That is
then tell me
horrific.
how that choice was actually made, Fabian. Tell me the mechanics of how that choice was made up in your
I
mind.
don't know.
Wait. How does he?
Well,
Why
then
does he
you
have
don't
to
know. You don't know if you made
Wait. Why does he have
Yes,
to know
I
the
do.
mechanic? Why does he have to know the mechanics of
But
something?
He's
If he
making a
knows,
claim.
no,
No,
why-
I know,
this is-
because
this is-
I know.
On their ass,
No,
Marty.
How do you know you made a
Holy
choice?
shit.
Okay, I know because I'll tell you how I know.
guys are
I'll tell you how I know.
retarded.
Because my conscience, the standard that we have, without which we are gone.
And why is
We're gone.
Francis smiling
It was
so much? What
separating
the
from me.
fuck?
I could feel it departing from me, but it didn't leave right away.
Pepe
I
Silva has an
absolutely knew that.
interesting comment.
It was on the verge of
The
leaving, and that scared the
metaphysics
crap
of
out of me.
gay sex.
And then I said, okay, I'm going to deal with I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to let go of all this, step by step. It doesn't happen right away. So, and then also like, and Jesus, He warns us about that hell. That hell was going to become real, man, for forever. Jesus warns us a lot in the Bible. Why would He warn us if we had no?
Yeah. Jesus is always like, don't suck that dick, bro.
Jesus in the middle of saying fucking love thy neighbor. Fucking Rob's rocking up to Steve and grabbing his penis in front of Jesus, and Jesus just looks at him and goes, no.
Not like that. Not like that.
No. Stop it. Bad.
I'll hit you with the fish.
Yeah. And yes, that is blasphemy, but it is also a joke.
Oh, whatever. People can get mad about it if they want to. We just
I know.
equivocated Liam to being a child of Ethan. I mean, that's more blasphemous than Jesus hitting a gay man with a fish.
Yeah. It's functionally impossible, too. Ethan would have had to have him when he was like, what, 12? 9?
This is my question. Is Paul the child Patrick had with Jesse?
That's the only conclusion I can come to, that he is the gay butt sex baby of
Yeah.
Patrick Rooney and Jesse Lee Peterson.
See, that's my theory. Because, like, that just so I think that makes sense here. Because, like, that dude is... Yeah.
Because, I don't know, man, like, clearly they gave in to Satan to the point where they were drinking each other's semen and blood, and it produced Paul.
Why not? I mean, that would explain Martin.
We're on 1.5 speed.
Did we just discover the Antichrist?
Oh, good lord. I mean, that will explain why Martin is so enamored with Paul. God don't.
So
like
the
that.
Antichrist is a black man.
It would fit the current trend of shit.
Natalie Miller says, God don't like ugly, Jesse Peterson. Did you think you would do wrong constantly? I wonder.
Remember in Revelations it says that the Antichrist will be loved by all, and in current fashion of today's politics, a white man cannot be loved by all.
Wow, yeah, exactly. I was in the Navy. They taught us that the only bad enema is an enema, not enema. Yes, I was in the Navy. We were all gay in the Navy. The secret is we are all bottom, so it's hard to get off.
Send a
Yes.
torpedo your way.
You missed that one, Alasi. The metaphysics of gay sex. Tutor says, "Do we all have the metaphysics of gay sex? A spiritual journey by Liam Van Skyver. Do we have a choice to do good or evil? Yes. Fabian has a conscience. Martin doesn't. Yeah, pretty much. Pepe Silva's. Oh yeah, I already read that one. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Pepe Silva says, so if I was gay gang raped by a group of gay gangbanging gay bangers like Isam's sister in the Rippaverse graphic novel, I don't have to feel pain or anger. Good to know. Thanks. Yeah, it's these weirdos don't appear to realize that like God's protection is largely vacated. Like the concept of original sin is a thing, and the dumb statements that these people make is in direct contravention of the concept of original sin. We suffer and we die because our ancestors committed a great sin. God's not protecting you from the from your sin. Like that's it's whatever.
No option. It doesn't make sense, Martin. It doesn't.
Right, Martin.
You're
What is
still
that?
talking about? You're still talking about. Oh, the pressures was on me. I realized this, and the pressures was on me.
God damn it, fucking thing.
What happened? Oh, it minimized.
Yeah.
Mal says, you guys can think them Bond guys are normal, but Jesse and his inner circle of experts don't have women and don't even talk about going on dates. Gonna need evidence for that.
We just watched the other video where a man and a woman enter the Bond facility.
Yeah, like, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we just. But Mal specifically intimates here that it's his inner circle, not like the general Bond members. But again, I'm gonna need evidence for that. And even if they are a bunch of homosexuals, all that says to me is that they shouldn't be leading a church. That doesn't say that they're any more immoral than a bunch of criminals or drug addicts. Which
it's not exactly
criminality and drug addiction are rampant in the hood rat community, Mal. Just saying.
It's not as though there isn't a precedent for single gender Christian groups.
Yeah, single gender Christian domiciles are extremely common because it's almost like there are passages in the Bible that say unmarried men and women should not live under the same roof if they're not directly related. It's almost like it's mentioned, like 2 or 3 times in the Bible, Lassie? Isn't it? Pretty sure. Could be. But I don't expect a bunch of leftists who have never read the fucking Bible to know this.
Yeah, it was I can't remember which stream it was that we watched. There was somebody in their chat, wasn't there, complaining about that. They were like, where are the women at? It's like, you expect it to be co-ed?
Yeah, the whole co-ed thing is a deeply anti-Christian concept. You're not supposed to be co-ed if you're Christian, period.
You're
not supposed to live under the same roof as a woman you are not genetically related to until marriage, period.
I just want to point something out. Does anybody notice that Patrick Rooney's wife doesn't come on here at all? You would think there's someone who's saying that their marriage is being supported for coming out and telling them the truth. You think that, a woman who's been with you for 30 plus years would actually stand by your side and get on stream with you just like your son would.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we could find his marriage documents if we were
Well, it's clearly going to be a black woman because their son's black.
Could also be an adopted child because that frequently happens.
No, we saw the picture of Jesse officiating Patrick's marriage.
Oh.
And we saw the wife from behind, and she was black.
Okay, so he is married to a black
wait, hang on. So a woman-hating man marries a man and woman?
And they give relationship advice, and dummies actually listen to Hake, a guy who never had sex with a woman, or Jesse hasn't had a woman in 30 years. You're not supposed to have, once again, not supposed to have sex outside of marriage, but I don't expect a leftist to understand that. That's fornication. That's another one of God's rules that a lot of these weirdo leftists who pretend to be Christians have broken.
Hey, yo. Had a fiance, wasn't married.
Come on, man. Do better. I get it, though.
You say no sex outside of marriage. Good thing I'm not married.
Oh, God. Love it. It's a terrible joke, but I love it. Pepe Silva says, the only figure loved by the entire world is Volodymyr Zelensky, the gay Jewish god of Ukrainian Nazis. Slava gay Ukraine. Yeah, pretty much.
You mean Mr. High Heels?
Remember, you can't cheat if it's with your hand.
Jeez.
Technically,
Thanks for telling us that.
Technically speaking, it is sodomy, though. Because sodomy is qualified as any form of sex that is not specifically vaginal.
I don't know about all that. I was just told that if you do too much, you go blind.
Or you get hairy palms was the one my grandfather always told me. That made me laugh. Jim Tuner says back to Colossals. It's what the Bible says to do.
Oh boy, now we're getting to some heresy.
Yes.
The 11th commandment. You got it, folks.
Yeah. Back to Colossals.
So
It was just scary.
I've had pressures on me for 30 years of porn and knowing I should be off of it. And I've been 30 years. That's like how much? 24 years longer than you. So
but Martin, you may not have had the same kind of wake up call that Fabian. The knowledge, like I'll give you an example. When I talked about this before, but I used to have dreams. I would smoke dope when I was a young man, and I'd work all night. I'd go home and try to sleep, and I couldn't sleep that well, so I would have some weed to sleep. And what I would do is I'd fall into very deep dreams. And so the dreams got real deep, and they would involve sometimes sexual situations, but they would go down as soon as they got into sexual. Underneath that was a level of evil that was underneath the sex. And when I saw the darkness that I was facing straight up, it scared the hell out of me. And it basically
Dude, I smoke weed all day, like every day, and I don't have like weird demon sex dreams. I'm sorry, man. That's like you and your island, okay?
Then you aren't smoking the right stuff.
I'm telling that to
Yeah. And the thing is, see,
You hear that, Martin? Need some of that gay demon sex dream weed, bro. You hook me up.
Oh, you can keep going. I think you can still hear you.
Jesus said, that one of the apostles that God gave him were lost. He retained and saved every one of them except Judas, which was, had to be. That was preset, right? But you don't.
Oh, he's so mad.
That's a very special situation. Those are apostles to set out the salvation of souls all over the world. Okay, you don't expound that to like everything, so everything is preset for all souls. There has to be an option, because otherwise we're just if you have God just set humans as all going to make heaven and the others are going to make hell, period. Then what does that make God? I mean, he's creating a horrendous hell, different levels, I'm sure, for different sinners.
Yeah.
But and that's justice, right? And it's vengeance too. It says in the Bible. But how could it be if they had no choice? If they had no chance?
Yeah, and I wish Martin was here to hear this, because he's been kind of all over this choice issue, which I don't quite get. I get some of it, but not to a point. I understand that I was kind of set up for what I did in life, so to speak, bringing back to the subject that we're talking about here. I understand that, but that doesn't take away my responsibility to take ownership for what I did as a grown man.
Right.
And
because
yet,
at one point, see, the way I explained to you on the phone, at a certain point, you get an awakening, just, it could be however, and you realize, wow, I'm really enjoying this, and this is really bad, and then we keep on going. That's on us, okay? And then finally, it created enough pain where it took a lot.
and it took a lot for me too. But thank God, all that matters is that we woke up. But it didn't mean that we had to wake up. We didn't, and that is why God is so like they're joyous when this happens, because they know what was in the balance.
There's some kind of there's some kind of a choice in the sense that a free will, whatever you want to call it, but I think we do have some choice within us to choose good, right? And somebody made a funny comment here. Ultra Shown said, "This is kind of funny. I wish Mark."
His where did Martin go? I'll tell you what happened to him. He does not have unlimited text and data, and he ran up all his data using his phone stream. That's what happened.
Probably. Likely can't afford it because his nose candy or whatever he injects into his veins is likely more important to him than regular contact with people he alleges to care about.
Yes, and if he's living at the halfway house, the shared Wi-Fi has really bad connection because everybody's on it.
That was so much kinder than what I was going to say.
Oh, well, go ahead and say it anyway.
Say it. Say it, Lassie. Do it.
Masturbation is covered in the Bible. It's called Olanism.
And is a sin. Yes, that's correct. I'm the greatest Olanist in history. Ask my parents. Yeah, Olin is the one who spilled his seed upon the ground in direct defiance of God's commands to impregnate his brother's wife, wasn't it? Or am I getting that wrong? It's been a while. I'm sorry.
You say he spilled his seed
No,
on
I
the
think
ground?
that's correct. Although I have never really understood people extending that to mean masturbation is a no-no all the time. It's like, really? We're all defying God's commandment to do something specific with our seed?
Well, there are mentions of
mean-
there are mentions in the Bible though of it's better to spill your what was it? It's better to put your seed into a whore than to spill it upon the ground.
Yes, Ron White made a joke out of it.
Mm.
His mother
Well-
told him that he was masturbating too much.
Yeah, you shouldn't make a mess. It's like catch it with a rag or Kleenex or something.
Jim Tuner says Martin's Obama phone ran out of data. Yeah, pretty much.
When you go to put a sock on, it's crunchy.
Please hit play.
You can hear this, but he may not get back on the show. I don't know. I don't see.
I
him
hope
right
he
now.
does.
I hope he gets back on. He's out right now, so I'm gonna take out his other. I'm gonna take out what he. I'm gonna kick him from the studio here because maybe that way he can come back in with fresh. Okay. Ultra Shown says it's kind of funny and to the point, even though it's kind of a long statement. Also, those hurt feel very responsible for it. They don't need to psychoanalyze it to death. Maybe that's what we're doing. Hopefully we're not. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's the love of God that brought you back to truth and confession. You know what? That is true. That's the bottom line. The love of God helped save me and my family.
Yeah.
And help bring you back to reality, Fabian.
Yeah, and it says fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it can start that way, and a lot of people spend their whole life rejecting, and God, I mean, I don't know how much he keeps on trying to save them, but Jesus said narrow is the path, right? But that's probably millions and millions of people, but narrow is the path. So God didn't make it narrow. People's selfish egos makes it narrow.
That's true. God wants to save everybody. If you read the Bible, God says he wants everyone to be saved. Everybody. He's not trying to not save people. On the other hand, he kind of knows there's certain people who are not going to be saved. I'm going to read a few other things while we're here. And
maybe Martin's battery died. But yeah, those are good points, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So Dean Thomas Triplet, if you want to answer it all, you can. Paul said, "What's Paul's play in this?"
Paul's
battery. Okay. Well, Paul's my son, so I don't know his play.
He shut that phone, turned it on.
But see,
he's part of the family. He knows all the stuff that's going on. So
I sense with Martin that he's missing some of that responsibility thing, because I heard him comment. I mean, I saw it on text where he said, "I don't know why God took so long to wake me up, but he is appreciative. Thank God he is now." But I don't think God made him sin for 30 years. I think he was, enjoying it in selfish slob. At a certain point, and then thank God.
You said what was selfish?
He was a selfish slob, just like we all have been,
of
but
course.
he was getting a lot out of it. And that's not God's fault. God didn't, I think what he's doing is he's equating appreciating waking up now. Thank God, because you, Pat, your thing helped him so greatly. It was a slap in the face to him, but he's equating that appreciation with God made him wait so long so he would appreciate. No, he appreciates, period. Thank God.
I think you're right. And unfortunately, Martin, if you ain't here to defend yourself, dude, you're going to have to make little comments on the replay or something.
Yeah, I hope he gets in.
Hey, Adriana Bovacqua gave $10. You guys see that?
Oh, it's a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. And I know who this person is.
God.
Her name sounds familiar to me. So, Adriana, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're here and watching what we're talking about here.
His new Indiegogo is titled "Hardy Boys: The Escape of Limp Dick Willie." A tagline: "Clean butt fucking fun for the whole family." Yes. Yes. If there was ever such a thing as clean butt fucking fun for the whole family, Liam would certainly be the one to produce it, wouldn't he?
I'm starting a Limp Bizkit new metal cover band called Limp Dick.
That's actually what Limp Bizkit means.
And this show was kind of like, this show is kind of like to get out, especially what happened last night.
Martin
We want to talk about
going
some
to
stuff anyway, but I
sue
wanted
for
people to know,
God,
I came to something last night about ownership.
Yes.
It's kind of a weird thing because we are slaves to sin. We are.
Right.
I was kind of a slave in a certain way to certain things. It's hard to understand. It's hard to make sense of it because we are slaves until we wake up. I was a slave until I woke up, and thank God I woke up. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't take responsibility. Just put it on someone.
So the
Yeah,
man with
right.
the black
He's a slave
sun
too.
is saying that he's a slave.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
God damn.
This is an episode of South Park. He's gonna perform a seance.
This is worse than South Park. I think we need to contact the creators so they can actually make a skit off this.
Yeah. He sinned not because he spilled his seed, but because he was supposed to inseminate his dead brother's wife to give her an heir, but he was a jerk and didn't want his child to have his brother's name. Oh, okay.
Don't you mean he performed a jerk?
I'm a good guy and would fuck my brother's wife and spill my seed inside her because I care with zero complaints.
That, sir, sounds like Hunter Biden.
Jesse's a slave to sin greater than me because he's so deep into this stuff.
But we all have a moment in time where we become aware of that, and there's some kind of option. Because otherwise, there's not going to be any. It's like the heaven and hell thing. There's no reason for hell if we had no option. There would be no guilt on us if we had no option.
Yeah, there's got to be a guilt there.
And can I see a comment real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to scan through them too. There's a lot of comments here.
Oh yeah, St. Louis asked a question about if I see anything of Jesse's behaviors. Oh, and thank you guys for commenting. I saw two weird things.
South Park could indeed make an entire movie.
I didn't think of anything too weird then, but now it's like so. Anyway, there's three of us as kids were playing on the front lawn of his house, and Jesse would do this weird thing. Like he pick. I don't even know why we let him do this, to be honest, but he would pick his nose kind of, but not like go fully in there. Yeah, it's not kind of gross, but he did that. And then he would we're little kids, we're 5 or so. He would wrestle with us, and he put his finger in our mouths and move it around.
Ew.
It was weird. He would do stuff like that, and he
wow.
And the weird thing about it is, and I remember that, and he was being overly rough with guys. He was trying to be like macho, and I'm gonna teach these boys to be tough and stuff.
Yeah.
He was doing stuff that could hurt people. In fact, we did something one time where my son,
Mr. Rucky
Paul,
says we
was
used to
at
listen to
someone's
Guns N' Roses while we were in Hellas in Afghan. This reminds me of it for whatever reason. Jesse says the only sin is judgment. You can stay in your sin and don't try to stop that sin. So you can keep sinning and not be judged about it. Yeah, again, I don't believe it. I'll have to research it for myself, but I get the feeling that people are either not understanding what he's saying or he's not Christian at all.
I don't fucking know.
Somehow you fell, Paul, against a metal thing, and you skinned yourself up and hurt yourself. And I remember a couple of Bond guys were there, and they were laughing about it. And I'm like, there's something that really weird that goes on in people's minds that they lose their consciousness, and everything is about just trying to be tough, trying to be macho, trying to be alpha. And they were laughing, and I just lit into them, man. I was furious. I just lit into these guys. I said,
yeah. And the other weird thing is I was wondering for a while. I mean, he does this thing where he builds your ego up. And so since I was your son, I thought he was a friend of mine, honestly, but I think it was just because I was your son. But anyway, in church, I remember one time there's my other friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was one of the guys that he would wrestle with us and stuff. But he would always put him down, and he was actually the son of the guy who worked there, who was kind of higher up there. He would always put him down, and he would say nice things about him. He even said in church, in front of everybody, he would say, the thing about this person, Paul, night and day. You literally call this guy night, and I'm like day.
Yeah,
I wasn't really doing anything special.
That's what control freaks do. They pump you up one minute, then they tear you down the other.
Well, there's also something else here, which is I think because I played ball, I was kind of raised up in the church because I played ball, and somebody who didn't have the same issues that I had growing up, that they may have had something was tried on them, but they didn't go through with it like I did. So they weren't ball players. So they were kind of relegated to a different tier because they weren't playing ball. I want to put out something by Brian here too, and it's a fair
You
question.
weren't playing ball. You were playing
I don't want
with
to dodge anybody's
balls.
questions, and I'm just leaving people's
I was
questions.
gonna say, like, this is a weird
Brian says,
euphemism
"Considering
for
your soul,
taking it
lucky
up
to
the
me,
ass.
was broken
It
as a child.
is.
Did you ever really have a choice, or was it pure compulsion to get pulled into Jesse?" Well,
Good question.
the first thing that happened, I think, was just an automatic thing in a way. I don't know that I could have. It just happened to me so automatically. It was like somebody's telling you. It's almost like you're given an order by a Marine drill sergeant, and you just kind of take the order in a way. I'm going to do this, and in my state of mind, I kind of just did that. So maybe that first time. Now, other times beyond that, I mean, this thing went on for years. So
Never obey.
I didn't have that same like
anyone's
weird
orders
fear factor thing. Now, maybe because I already did something, it kind of broke down my morality to some extent. So I kept doing something, and then we didn't get caught. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, maybe God is purposely not allowing us to get caught so I can go through some kind of teaching experience or some weird thing. I mean, I made up all sorts of crazy things in my head that didn't make sense. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same principle when Jesse's beating up kids on the front lawn. I don't mean beating them up with fists,
Yes,
but just
Mr.
kind of like going
Ruckus,
too
I
much with it.
suspect,
And then you're putting his
Martin
finger
is
in the mouth, and you're putting it in doing weird
Rudy's
stuff.
desk right
And
now
I would
playing
never
with,
ever
Patrick
allow.
balls. Yes. He says, "Don't read the Bible to remember that God doesn't have anger, that God will not judge you over your sin. Over sin you do, we are sinless." He said that today. Well, he's not Christian then. But again, I'll have to see that for myself because I'm not in the habit of believing people on the internet because life is short. Trusting people on the internet is like trusting a scorpion to not sting you when it's hungry.
Was this on his podcast or what?
Yeah, that's a good question. Was it today during service or was it today on his podcast? Like, where can we find this so we can see it for ourselves, hear it for ourselves? Because I don't, like I said, I'm not in the habit of believing people on the internet. Mr. Ruckus says, military will never ask you to do something. Yes.
You say that, but these days,
Well, I mean, look at the fucking the anthrax vaccines and all this experimental shit that they gave to military back in the day. Like Terrence Popp is like suffering to this day from all the fucking experimental drugs he was given while he was a ranger. It's just he wants to sin without anybody judging him for it. That's why he only preaches that judgment is the only sin. Well, again, where can we find the segment where he says this? Because I'm not in the habit of believing people. Mr. Ruckus says I am not. Vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
How any other person on earth do what I allowed Jesse to get away with.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just grab the guy and say, "Stop! You're not going to go any further. This is crazy. Settle down." But because it was Jesse, another situation. There's a woman that Jesse was going to get married to at some point. They were engaged to be married, and I remember they were at a party. It didn't happen. The engagement was called off. But they were at a party, and Jesse was kind of like playing, like kind of pushing her around. Like he was going too much. Again, he was going overboard. And I remember she looked at me and another guy was one of Jesse's right-hand men that's still there and protecting Jesse in every way right now. And she looked at us like he had this look in her eye like, "Help me," because Jesse was acting weird and he was going too much. And because it was Jesse, again, I let it go. There's so many things that because it was him, I let go until it got to be too much and I started waking up. And when I finally woke up and said, "Stop, this is done. We're done with this." And then he kept pushing it, right?
True.
Somebody's trying to reach me, probably Martin. He kept trying to push this stuff and he actually physically kind of came at me and kept trying to do stuff. And that's when I finally grabbed him by the throat and said, "You're not going."
Why do you allow strange men to live in his house? Why don't you allow women? Again, it depends on whether or not he's Christian or not. If he's Christian, then the reason he doesn't allow women into his house is because women to live in his house is because if they're not married to one of the men in that house, they're not supposed to live under the same roof. And if he's not a Christian, I couldn't tell you why. But once again, I need evidence that he doesn't allow women into his house, period.
And as far as the strange men thing goes, it's an outreach thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, men are the most underprivileged class on the fucking planet.
I'll be right back.
You know what happens when a village gets raided? The men and the children are murdered. The women get taken as war brides and get inseminated. They get to live. Sure, they get raped, but they get to live. The men and boys either die or become soldiers. They don't, like, it's... But let's ignore reality. Mr. Ruckus, Rooney ruined Jesse chance to get laid. Yeah, they're all homeless. Yeah, pretty much. Jim Tuner says, and all this is about some black dude who runs a shopping mall church in California, California. Yeah, pretty much. If he's, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to check out some of his preaching and see if he actually says this shit that people say. And if he actually believes that Christ did not rise, then he's not a Christian. Like, you can't deny the divinity of Christ and then say you're a Christian. That's kind of the fundamental element of the fucking religion. Just saying.
Gay!
Yes, many things are gay in this scenario, Cider.
I did not intend to click that button. But, that was an oddly timed click, and I apologize for that. And this one too, because I can't unclick this now. So, okay, it didn't play again. All right, cool. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't agree with him as a Catholic, but I see him as a tool for anti-left. Yeah, see, that's exactly it, Ruckus. Like, if he wants to be a weapon against the left, fucking let him be one. To be fair, playing ball isn't a euphemism for gay sex. Playing a ball is a euphemism for sticking a giant steel ball bearings into your ass with a rusty meat hook. I should know. I'm a non-practicing gay.
Okay, now.
Gay!
There
yes, that is very appropriate in that moment.
I brought up the stream in private chat of the latest Jesse Lee Peterson thing. I have a timestamp at 52 minutes. Just listen to some of this stuff and make up your undecisive mind what you will of the man. He's talking to a live caller. This message is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends, the worst mobile game on the fucking planet.
It is at this time that Elassie Affairs would like to remind you to hit like, subscribe, and slap that bell for more engaging content just like this as the Jesse Lee Peterson dramatics continue to play out. Please make sure to tune in to each stream as the lore continues to build on these mega faggots you see on screen right now. So, I hope so. I'm not looking at the screen at the moment. But anyway, hit like and subscribe.
Cut the elevator music. There we go.
Blah, blah, blah. Birthdays. All right. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Let me go to a first time call out Los Angeles. Daniel out of Los Angeles, California. Daniel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Daniel, how are you?
I am well.
Good.
I called in just because it's been a long time since I've spoken to you. About 2 years since I've been to church. Wanted to catch you up real quick since my son was born. I've had a daughter, and 2 months ago, I had my twin boys.
Congratulations, man. Amazing.
Yep. 4 children under 3. God is good.
Making babies.
Yeah, just like you always said. Just let go and let God.
That's right, man.
And God's blessed me greatly with children. Now I have no time for any other business other than what is good for my family.
Right on. Nice.
Well, it's been a struggle recently just because of everything that's been going on with COVID and job shortages. And it's spiritual battle has definitely taken a beating on me recently, but I'm pretty confident in that everything will work out.
It will. Never doubt.
Most definitely not to doubt. I've had hesitations and kind of been working through that. You're absolutely right about waking up before getting married, because if you get married in hell, then that's what the marriage is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What
This will work. I like what I heard on the break was that the wife will do things that will make you angry or make you feel good, and that you shouldn't be angry. You shouldn't fall for those things that manipulate you emotionally, because they'll take you to places that isn't where God wants you to be.
Yep. You should never, you got to overcome emotions, and never, but never argue with your wife either. You make your point and you be done with it. Do not argue, because it's just argue with the devil. Two devils arguing, and the devil love arguing. He live off arguing. That's why he want to pull you in. So never argue with her at all.
That's right. You know what's right, and you say however they're going to react is how they're going to react.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Autism
You
is
spoke
strong
the
in this
truth,
one.
then
Yes, probably.
devil doesn't like the truth. So
that's
more
right.
than likely it's going to be a visceral response.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, you taught me very well. I remembered all the lessons from when I went to church. I also did the relationship seminar. All that stuff still applies. There's really forgive your parents. That was key. And I'll take it one step further, is to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Because I had an issue with that, where I had forgiven my parents. I had no problems with my family, but there was still something keeping me in that fallen state.
Right.
And when I was able to see that it was just, I hadn't forgiven myself, that hatred was coming from my actions when I was in that fallen state, and I was continuing that pattern, continuing that downward spiral into hell.
He does say
and
something
dragging my
after
family
this,
and
just so
friends
you guys
along
know.
with me.
Okay.
Until I was able to finally pray to God and ask Him, take whatever it is from me that is still holding me here. That it became very clear that it was just hatred in myself for what I had done. And once I was able to see that God sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to be sacrificed so that we can have forgiveness, and that I was forgiven by Him, then how can I judge myself and not forgive myself when I had already been forgiven?
That's right. That's a very good point, man. The one thing that human beings cannot do ever, but never under any circumstance, just not allowed to do, is to hate one another and hate themselves. Because when you do, you bring damnation upon yourself. You bring hell upon yourself. We are not allowed to judge ourselves and others. You just can't do it. And then it makes sense, because as you just said, God doesn't judge us. He doesn't hold anything against us. He doesn't judge us at all. And who are we that we should judge ourselves and others? That's why He said, love Him with all your heart, soul, and might, and love your neighbor. When you do that, I'm telling you, Daniel, you cannot. And I don't care what situation come about.
Yeah, that's the part I got
You
for you.
cannot go wrong, because love will conquer all.
That's right. I wasn't having any issues with neighbors.
This doesn't sound like a. First time
That makes
caller,
first time caller, long time homo. I'm sure not to be gay, but the gay in my area is super good, like really good gay. I walk out of my house and have a dozen homos slobbering on my dick. It's so hard.
Yep. It's I don't know, man. It sounds to me like he's trying to. It sounds to me like he's trying. It doesn't sound to me like he's trying to do the things people say he's saying. It sounds to me like they've classically misunderstood what he's saying, and he's simply trying to say that God loves us unequivocally. Like
He's
unquestionably.
placating to the guy on the phone conversation, but he's not in a sense actually quoting scripture as if he's in a biblical session in church right now.
Yeah, like this is a talk show. Like this isn't. Do people know the difference between preaching from a pulpit and doing a podcast? It sure seems like they don't. And you're on the internet now. It's YOU''RE or U space ARE on the internet, not your. That is no. As long as it's not global. Yeah. Pepe Silva says it's good advice. Never argue with your wife. I never argue with my wife. I beat the hell out of her like Randy Moss. My one regret is not beating her ass one day. She told me to pay the rent. #homeless.
Well, if you're in South Carolina, you can beat your wife every Sunday. It's a South Carolina law.
Because I don't believe accusations. Prove that he says it every day. Show me the timestamps. Show me the very video where he says it.
Yes, don't just say that you saw this and don't have any proof. We need timestamps. Just like I just proved he just said this in 52 minutes to this one caller on this 15th of July stream. You need to do a little bit more research before I can actually take anything you say verbatim.
Yeah. Sounds to me like it's just talking points.
The whole stream is talking points, to be honest with you. I've been skimming through it while we were watching the other guys. I'm just like, he's very casual. When he talks about women, he's really not coming off as misogynistic as he is being stern with men, trying to tell them that they need to be a little bit more cooperating with their women, but not in the sense that they're, I guess, placating to them as well with the current standards of how women are acting. That they need to be men again.
One, women are not meant to lead the household, like not a Christian household specifically.
Exactly. We're supposed to be the breadwinners. We're supposed to be the men who lead the house, not the women.
That's correct.
I don't know, man. I dated a third wave feminist, and we used to argue, and like the hate fucking afterwards was like out of this fucking world, man. Like I don't know.
But sorry, that's the thing right there. You just say it. You just said it. You dated. You didn't stay with her. That's the
I was engaged with her, and then I came down with the Crohn's, and she was like, "I don't need that."
She yeeted herself because you were no longer susceptible to it. It's a common trend with women who don't see men as susceptible because of their health standards.
Yeah, sure, man, but like the hate sex, it's crazy.
Yeah, the sex is always good with a crazy fucking chick until she leaves you.
Let the hate sex flow through you.
Well, dating crazy chicks ends one of three ways. She kills you, she maims you, or she leaves you.
Maim's a very strong word. I would say if she cuts your dick off, it's no longer maiming.
I don't know. It worked out for that Bobbitt guy. He became a porn star afterwards. I mean, talk about leveling up, you know?
It's because they reattached it and made it longer. That's about it.
I don't believe it was the bionic cock prime, you know? We can make it better, longer than it was before. We have the technology.
They actually do. They put
longer, harder, stiffer.
Wow. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can make a Viagra commercial out of that one. The Steve. It's too bad he's dead.
Sounds like a title card for RoboChode.
Oh God.
Yeah, you have to talk to Mark Brooks about that. So.
Oh God. Oh fucking hell. I'm so glad that God doesn't judge. I murdered like 15 bitches last week. I was really worried for a second, man. I was sweating. I dodged a bullet on that one, although those bitches couldn't.
7-10 split, baby.
And for the record, like in any capacity, to say that God doesn't judge you is incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, God has done so and will do so, like for the rest of eternity.
Yes.
So it determines whether or not we yeah.
We're forgetting a critical factor here, Einberg. Repent, believe in me, and you shall ever have lasting life.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're born into sin only to repent from sin, to be able to go away from sin. That's about it.
Yep. You have to say, yeah, no one goes to the Father except through the Son, I believe, is the old.
Yes, so that's the passage, yes.
Going any further here. And that's when I had enough was enough. And I don't care who he was. He went past a certain zone where it's like I kind of just woke up to it and said, no, I don't care who you are. You're not going any further. Let me take this off the screen. I'm sorry about that. I left it up there. Everyone, St. Louis said everyone has self-control. Well, to a point. Again, if you've been in certain traumas and you have certain things going on, you develop something where you don't have all of your faculties in a way. It's kind of weird, but that's the case until you wake up from it. And again, I'm not trying to dodge responsibility here at all, because I realize how much I hurt my family, so I'm responsible. But yet I wasn't playing like with full power. Let's put it that way. With my full, I think none of us do, right, Fabian? When we're in sin, we're not playing with our full capability.
Right. We become captive.
Yeah, you're not going super
and
saiyan.
I think the only the only real choice for good we have is to want salvation, right? And then, then we get on the path. So, because I see with my life, like now whenever I make a choice, it'll be like for a wrong thing. Like I'll get a thought about having some extra food after I already ate dinner, and it's a thought, and then I'll go. So I just made a choice to do that. I didn't have to do that, but so now I'm becoming a lot more aware of the the darkness that works through the ideas and thoughts. So I know eventually, God willing, I won't have to make any choices. But I feel like whenever we do good, we're not like choosing to do good all the time, all day. It's just natural. It's natural. But when I do make a choice, it's for a selfish thing, So because Mark was saying he kind of had the idea that I'm making a choice for good, making a choice for bad, and it's very prideful. It's not like that. It's just.
I'll give you an example, Fabian. I'll give you an example. I believe, again, I could be argued with on this, but I believe I had a choice. Like,
do you believe in the power of love?
Okay.
Know that?
No.
And I've always
How about life after love? How about that? Do you believe in life after love?
It's a means of happiness. It's kind of a means of false happiness.
Right.
Oh God.
And I've always kind of used it that way. But I noticed the other night I had a choice.
At least it's not the Camille song.
Did I really need to eat more, or could I back away? And I could have backed away.
The Camille song.
But I didn't want to, and I kept eating.
Right. Exactly.
I can make a better song pop in your head now.
What's that?
Can't get you out of my head.
Oh God, you son of a bitch! Kylie Minogue, you son of a whore!
La 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 la.
Wow, that's like every YMCA dance I went to as a kid. Holy shit, that took me back.
Yeah, Einberg, did you know that I saw the sign?
That's what
it said. It said no U-turn here, right?
Oh God.
So this is probably the best thing to come out of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. This is a song by Gadfly, and it's about to get stuck into your heads for the next week. So you're welcome.
Saw an angel dressed in white in Fairfax, Virginia, and she had to fight a serpent in his sides that was spewing lies. But don't look in his eyes. I know that this is the end. When all the money ran out, sold it all the friends, and right down right, you're lying on the stand, legend not the same. You understand? Camille, brighten up the room wherever you go. The sunlight will make you glow. Cut the liars, come back home. For real, well, girl, you get me, you just don't know. Camille, if I had to guess, you might be one of the best. Camille.
Oh God.
You can stop this anytime, Lassie. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Insomnia, getting cut by all the deposition. It's boring you.
He wants to see
Wanna be alright. Well, think
Killing
about
hybrid.
what a crazy lie.
Oh, I've heard where
Can make it up. I know. You're all I require. You put the demon flame out while we get gaslit fire. Hope you never retire, 'cause I'll be fine. You're all that I need. Camille, brighten up the room wherever you go. The sunlight will make you glow. Cut the liars, come back home. For real, well, girl, you get me, you just don't know. to come back home. Korea, well, girl, you get me, you just don't know. Korea, if I had to guess, you might be one of the best. Korea, brighten up the room wherever you go. The sunlight will make you.
So there you go. That's stuck in your head for the next 2 weeks. You're just gonna be like doing your regular tasks. Camille, fuck! God damn it! That's just gonna be. That's what happens to me. It's like 2 months now. I'm just like doing the dishes, and I hear Camille, and I just want to shoot myself. But now it's your burden. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, Cider. That song's actually catchy, and I like it.
It's beautiful. It's a great song. I mean, Gatfly is certainly going to go to heaven because of that. But wow, is it a living hell to have it stuck in your head?
You know what? You know what song's a real hell when you have it stuck in your head? Caribbean Queen by Billy Ocean.
I don't think I've heard that one. I thought you were going to say Doo-Wop by the Hanson Brothers. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you summon Satan, is playing that backwards. But
Okay, I'd just like to congratulate Marsupial Gamer. Thank you for coming.
what is he, like the 1,000th caller? Does he win a prize?
No, he got stuck with Camille, thanks to you.
Yes.
I would like to share a story with y'all.
Uh-oh.
2 years ago, I had $75 in my bank account.
Hey, Andy.
2 years later, I have $25. You thought this was going to be a motivational story? I'm sorry. No, I'm still broke, motherfucker.
What do you win, Marsupial Gamer? You win a crack whore, his son, and a very, very, very grifting gay man.
Yes. My favorites are Liber DAs. You can't take this man's life. He may have raped and murdered 87 toddlers, but he has to live with the guilt. No one can punish him like he punishes himself. Hashtag Democrats. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I kind of hard disagree with many Christians. For the time we're stuck on this planet, it is absolutely necessary that we judge each other. Because if we don't, we leave violent criminals alive and or on the streets to harm more people. So, no.
Marsupial Gamer, the man smiling on the left side of the screen is your crack whore. I'm sorry. I mean, I know he's got a shaved head like Piper, but I don't think a wig is going to fix this issue.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I get the feeling the kind of crack Patrick Rooney is addicted to and the kind of cracky typical crack whore is addicted to are very different. Rooney's got the face like he's staring at plumber crack and getting.
Oh, he's a brown noser. Okay.
Yes. Yes, gay indeed.
I noticed that about myself the other day, just eating something healthy, cashews. So what did I do last night? I saw the same idea and I just let it go and I didn't do it.
So
there's
he's
an example.
There you go. Yeah.
And I don't
How
know. I'm not
ungay
that
of you,
into-
sir,
maybe I'm
eating
just not enough,
nuts.
whatever, but I'm just not into the whole discussion yet about what is choice and what isn't yet. I
I
feel like
love
will
nuts
show
on
me
my
if he
chin. What
wants
are you
to.
talking about?
You know, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, Martin, like, I like that he has his own take on things, and I don't care about that, but you know, he does, and I mean, that's cool. He does. I mean,
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just think he's making some assumptions, which he was saying don't make assumptions, but I do sense that he needs to take a little bit more responsibility for years of like repressing a lot of stuff and doubting, like we all did with Jesse. But it's like you push it down. With him, it's created cancer. So I just want him to see. I'm not saying I'm totally right, but I know I can see with my life.
Wait a minute, what the fuck is Fabian accusing Jesse of making Martin have cancer?
I don't know, man.
He touched him and now he has cancer. Don't you see the revelation?
Yes, he allegedly gave him the pee-pee touch, and now Martin has cancer in his penis because
Gay cancer. All right. Gay cancer.
Damn it,
What? What did I do this time?
I knew you were going to say it, you son of a bitch. Fucking penis cancer.
Gay penis cancer.
Gay penis cancer.
You know what? Now you're starting to make me think that's what happened to Liam Gray. Did he visit Jesse Lee Peterson too and got one of his balls removed?
Maybe.
He had the surgery finished. Now he has no balls.
He is now the ballless wonder.
Yeah,
he took his
no.
ball and went home.
Word on you. The word on the Discord streets is that Liam's just taking a week off, and this was another Toro kind of situation.
Yeah.
Of course, he's been fucking typing up on his other Twitter, Conquest Manga, all fucking week.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like we follow all of his alternate avenues, quote unquote. He'll be back. He always comes back. He can't help himself.
What I explain my life is real, and it's a principle. And I just want him to see the whole depth of how selfish he's been, and because he needs to be healed.
This is the man accusing another man of gay sex crimes in order to destroy his
I
career.
sense there's something missing there with.
Well, you guys are going to continue your
yeah,
conversation about that, but
is
that's
it okay if I get to some comments?
yeah. I was trying to get to him too, and I wasn't like trying to disregard you. You think I'm on my phone here? Like I was actually trying to get to Martin because he's been trying to get back in, but he can't get back on. I said just shut it down completely and try to get back on. We're almost done with the show anyway. I'm not going to have a long show tonight. So I don't know that he's even.
Oh, the show.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Paul.
You guys.
Oh.
Whatever comments you want to go.
Yeah, it's a show now.
57 minutes of 2
Yeah.
hours and 5 minutes.
He did the Liam Gray. Oh, we're going to end it soon.
Oh, we're gonna have to start a drinking game for these motherfuckers too. How many times will they say we're gonna end it soon before they finally fucking end it?
Marsupial Gamer asks, wait, does that mean my plan to take over Retro Boy 1983 is going to be thwarted? No! Crying emoji.
Well, if he really deleted his Twitter account, you'd be able to take over Retro Boy 1983.
Well, see, he did that, but he's got another 30 days before it's perma-deleted?
Yeah.
Perma-deleted?
It's almost like he deactivated just to activate it again. Amazing.
And he'll keep deactivating and reactivating it so no one can take his username. Let's be
Yes.
It's so weird. I think when I started talking to him, he was determined something or other when I started talking to him in 2019, and he changed to Retro Boy 1983, and I always question that because I hate screen names with numbers in them. I fucking hate it.
Well, he acts like everybody's surprised when we figure out how old he is, but he puts his fucking birth year in his fucking @name.
Yes.
Right, and it's fucking numbers. God, it's almost as bad as X's.
Hey, AB, thank you for your comments. Appreciate them. Skip McBurney, St. Louis, Armand, Cindy Jones, all you guys, Jubine. I saw 21 Studios in there.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Great. But yeah, to get to a couple comments.
Martin's not getting back in, by the way. I told him just wait till next show or something.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what the hell, but maybe he's
back
got a
in.
cheap internet.
Oh,
or
we don't
something
get to have
because his
Martin
internet
again?
keeps-
Fuck.
I saw him on
Yeah.
the show last week, and it kept his internet kept going out. I'm like, well, just maybe upgrade your internet.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
But yeah, let me see a couple comments. Oh yeah, I think St. Louis Ultraphone. So Ultraphone said, I guess this is to you. Did Jesse ever explicitly discuss living a double life as a closeted homosexual with you, or was it just kind of an unspoken thing once the random acts were open?
Yeah, Jesse never speaks about himself. It's always about others. So you can never talk to Jesse about anything. You can never
There's a
correct Jesse on
Brunswick,
anything serious. He
Mississippi?
will go back on you. Jesse's
Right.
very uncomfortable talking about himself.
Awkward.
That's why
So he
always-
never said it in the phones
No. He never even admitted that what he was doing was off in any way. He was just doing it, and it was unspoken. The whole thing was
So how do you
unspoken.
guys know where to meet?
What's that?
How do you guys know where to go?
Well, there's obviously there's certain private places that people know to go to. They're not, people ask for, where's your proof? Well, people like us, are not are going out of our way to do things secretly. I mean, so you're not making texts, you're not making videos. You're
Yeah,
not
because it was in the Bond building sometimes, right? So you just follow.
Yeah, so there's places to go without getting. Yeah, so
Anyway, St. Louis. He wanted to ask about
All right,
Pepe Sylvia says the double reach around, and I feel like that Dragon
so
Ball
I said
Z
this-
character that just realized that there's a whole new power level out there. I'm like that Naruto character. It's like, I didn't realize such a power was attainable. I'm just like, holy shit, a double, whoa, what the fuck?
Well, sire, depending on what angle you stand at, if you do a reach around behind a reach around behind a reach around, that's basically a circle jerk reach around.
How? Whoa.
Think about it.
Talk about metaphysical gayness. Holy crap. No pun intended. No, I was just stunned. Like, wow. You know, all these years I was just kind of just, you know, like I heard about the reach around, girls used to make jokes about it and stuff like that. So I was just one of those dumb things. But the double reach around, it's like, yeah, this is Super Saiyan, but this is Ascended Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 if you prefer. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's fucking retarded.
How to Pray Part 1. But just to talk about it again, maybe we remember something different. But like he basically was, he did admit to it. The first time, well, my dad told me what happened, and then I was shocked, and then I demanded. I was like, I mean, I believed you, but I was still in shock. I mean, I was like, I don't know, I was in a weird place. But I was like, I want to hear this from Jesse himself. So he called up Jesse, and I was like, Jesse. Well, I called him like he's actually the weird thing. He's actually my
yeah. He
goddad.
called up Jesse, and he's like, "Is the double reach around a real thing?" And
Jesse like, what? And I think he's in front of you. It's like, Pat, you told him. He's like, he's kind of like,
That's the biggest sin of all.
He's like, you told him.
Yeah.
You told him, and Dad, you're like getting mad. You're like, Jesse, you're lying. And then
I was
like,
yelling at him.
You told him, and then I'm not sure if he admitted it that time on the first phone call. And then let's see, but I know you like hounded him and then said you lied, and then I think we hung up or something. But I know the next time we called him up for sure, he admitted it. It was with my mom was on the phone too, and he was like, he's like, I'm like, why are you? I forgot. I'm trying. It was like a year ago or something like that. He said for sure. I can tell you. He said, I'm sorry this happened. You know how he does that voice? He's like, he goes to, I'm sorry it happened. I was weak.
Yeah, it was like a year ago. I can't remember which time I talked to him that he admitted to having sex with my father for 10 years.
Yeah, that's kind of strange because Paul's saying that the conversation happened a year ago. Then Patrick basically runs interference and said, no, more than that. So which is it?
Yeah.
Bro. Obviously, Paul wasn't that fucking bothered about it if the story is true at all.
He's too chill about it. How are you that chill that your father had a fucking gay adulterizing relationship with a man for 10 years behind your mother's back? Hell, I don't even. And see, that's the other thing too that doesn't make any sense. How do you have a supporting wife over it? Like, how do you tell somebody like that and not have a fucking divorce lawyer going against your ass right now? No woman in their right mind would support this type of shit.
Well, I would like to invoke the story of my aunt that married a gay man.
Oh, fucking A.
Hey. She got married 3 times, divorced 3 times. She's clearly making the right choices and batting 100.
So does that make your cousin your grandpa? How does that work?
Sure. They're from Ohio, so.
Oh yeah, okay, so. Yeah. Ohio is for dog lovers.
Yes. Do they know where Terry Easy is? Just saying.
I'm not sure, but they say don't go to Cleveland or you'll die.
Yeah. Even the river kills fish there.
And catches on fire.
Yep. But LeBron will tell you that's his hometown.
Oh, God. He is his own grandpa. Akron stuff. Yeah. Bisola says these aren't even the interesting gays. They became gay because it was cool. The real interesting gays like me and my buddies were all raped by our dads on our birthdays. They are lightweights. Damn! His jokes get dark.
As dark as Paul's son.
I was like, it was all stage, like stuff like that. Like I said, I'm sorry you had to hear it. No, what he was saying was really
sorry you had to hear
about it.
Yeah,
really.
not that I did it, that you had to hear about it.
Yeah, he said, sorry you had to hear about it. I think, did he say, I'm sorry too? Like, just
maybe.
Say, yeah, he said, I'm sorry, I had to hear about it. And then I was trying to tell him, I was very, like, still looking up to him. I don't know why, but I was like, he's like, you guys, like, all my friends are leaving me. And I was like, Jesse, I was like saying weekly, Jesse, I'm still your friend. He's like, okay, yeah. But Pat, you're leaving me. Like, he ignored me. But so that's how I know now he was never really our friend.
Paul, get closer to the light, then you'll be the same complexion as your father.
When he was supposedly called out on this, he kind of flipped around and used some of the phone calls like a little counseling session for Paul somehow.
Oh yeah.
Because you're angry, and he's like, well, don't be angry, and this and that stuff.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like changed the subject and went back to counseling.
Yeah, because I was saying like I'm still mad or something. I forgot I said something like that. He's like, well, you have to learn to overcome that. Like he used that to avoid the question what we were talking about.
It's
perfect. Yeah, it's his reset position always, and that's why he doesn't really stand a chance if he remains in bond for his salvation, because he's like totally sucked into that, but I don't even know if he has a conscience left. I don't know. He has a real good phony conscience, which most people do, and I think he's bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh yeah, I do. We wouldn't be able to do what he's doing if he hadn't sold himself on this already.
Yeah. Oh wait, one thing I forgot to mention, like that's not like.
At least they're not accusing him of grooming children.
Like there was a Bond Academy thing.
The reverse double reach
that
around.
we had to have four
balls that are
students. I was
picked
in one of them,
by
and it was
Liam
good,
and
except that he wasn't really a part of it. He was like he called himself the principal, but I mean that was it. We didn't really act bad, so we didn't really need him. But I did once, he read like some Up From Slavery book, and then he had us do an essay on it, and that was what I remember. But what the thing was, my mom did like so many things for him. She helped with the event, she put things together, and then the sick thing is she was on the phone, and then she was like kind of like why do you do this? And then his response, like you would think he would say, oh I'm sorry. His response was, well they're grown men. Like he doesn't care. Like that's what your response is after she helped you all this time. So,
well, yeah, he threw Martin under the bus too. A lot of people. St. Louis. I'm going to run through a few more comments, guys. We're going a little over an hour, and I'm not going to hang on long with this. Martin is gone for this show. Sorry, Martin, but whatever he did, he's had problems from the get-go. Almost every time I have, not every time, but a lot of times I have Martin on, he has like technical issues somehow. But hopefully we'll get. I just want to read some other. Go ahead, Fabian, because you want.
That's exactly.
No, he might need a better router.
They
or something.
see themselves.
Did you want to comment
on? Like they're clearly not. They're clearly not mentally developed enough to understand the situations that they are alleging to have been in. Their stories aren't credible.
Gentlemen, I am fading fast. You'll have to excuse me. I'm headed to bed for the evening.
Yeah, you
good
go
luck
get your rest, man.
Yeah, good luck with this trio of ne'er-do-wells.
Yes.
Yes, we'll certainly have fun. Thank you for filling in for me. And
yes, thank you for joining us.
Sorry to rest well.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody, and remember, God or something.
Colossals.
Yes, shark monsters, blood, action. Back at today, available on Kickstarter near you. Thank you.
Saturday needs sleep. Yes, back to Colossals. Saturday needs sleep. Yeah, it's.
Anything before I was just going to move and talk about comments.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah,
and roll up.
Jim Tudor beat me to the
if you guys
fucking
want to
huffing
point out,
page.
Yeah, I'll read comments.
I'm gonna read one now from St. Louis 9 again. It says Patrick Rooney chose to allow Jesse to convince him into evil. Well, I would say St. Louis X. I don't know. Again,
chose to allow him to convince.
These are not okay. That language is not the language of someone who has accepted their responsibility in a situation.
Nope.
That is how someone who is trying to mitigate their own part in a situation speaks. That is exactly what is going on here. What he should be saying is, and this is again, if we take their story to be true, which I do not believe their story is true, for the record, but if we take it to be true, for the sake of argument, what he is essentially saying here is, he assisted me in raping myself. That's not how it works.
Is it illegal to pill Cosby oneself?
No. No, it is not.
Here. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go turn down your bed sheets and assume the position. I'm going to get on top of you, okay? That's what I'm hearing from these fucking asswipes.
No, that's exactly it. Like, Rooney keeps talking about how this situation is something. He keeps speaking as though the situation is something that happened to him. Bro, you allegedly engaged in gay sex with your friend and pastor.
It's just him and the boys hanging out.
Remember, they were in a hotel room together, and Patrick Rooney's the one who insinuated what the hell to do.
Well, fucking, if we believe the story at all, and he was like, "What do you want to do?" And fucking Rooney's mind immediately went to, "I want to talk about all this gay sex shit."
Oh God, we got an hour left of this.
We do. Fabian is the only one that seems even vaguely Christian. Fabian's still a weirdo lefty who pretends to be Christian, but he might actually have some Christian leanings, certainly, Mr. Tuner.
I don't think he's a Christian. I think he likes dudes named Christian.
Probably. Pepe Silva says, I remember my first dad raping. It was after my birthday. I had a great raspberry-filled chocolate cake. As my dad bald-eyed to me, he screamed, God says you can't judge me, and then said to walk it off.
God!
Jeez, that got dark.
But just to point out something about Fabian, he reminds me of one of those fucking guys that during the pandemic were in the Christian church committee would scream at you to take the vax because they're afraid of dying, even though we're not supposed to be afraid of dying at all. That's what this guy reminds me of. Pepe Silva says, back to Colossus guaranteed no ass raping inside, and if it is, it's the good kind. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a funny way to say it because it's not really a choice. It's like you're automatically believing the person because of the position that they are in that you've given them. You don't even realize that you put them there. So it's yes, there may be a choice on some level, but consciously you're not aware of any kind of choice. All you're aware of is you know that you have this person in a particular position, and you believe the person almost anything that they say because you think that they're next to God.
Yeah.
Patrick had a wife and son throughout the time of this. So to do my with Jesse, I don't know what he's saying. Basically, he's saying my sin was worse than Jesse's. I think. I would say that the way that Jesse used people, lied to them, used his position as a minister and a counselor to pretend that he was helping people spiritually, and then pull them into knowing he knew what my particular sins were, the things that I was messed up with, and using that against me, I think is absolutely sick. And I don't want to say like I'm better than this guy or whatever, but what he did is absolutely sick. What I did was wrong, and that's my responsibility to protect my family. I was certainly wrong about that, and I failed in that. But it doesn't absolve Jesse of being a sick man.
That was my whole war with him, that I saw clearly he was misrepresenting real salvation, which, the blessed Roy Masters was actually showing the real thing. Jesse was misrepresenting it, and he was misrepresenting Jesus. I clearly saw that. So that was a big, I see with a lot of commenters, that they don't seem to see that, like how serious an issue that is. That's really a big deal. That's a huge deal. That's huge.
Which part was huge? I'm
That's
sorry,
exactly
to
it, Mr.
misrepresent
Tuner.
the Holy Spirit and
Oh, yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
and
it's-
salvation. It's
This thing,
That like what Jim Tuner said just there. That's exactly it. Patrick doesn't believe he did anything wrong. That's why he's minimizing his own involvement in the situation. That's the psychology of a fucking liar, for the record. I know because I used to be this kind of person. I used to minimize my own involvement in everything I was involved in. Like, just, that's the fucking psychology of a liar right there. Pepe Silva says, I will take responsibility for my dad raping me. It was my fault. Said I looked cute on my birthday. Said he couldn't help himself when he saw my hips swinging while hitting the piñatas. So he hit me. Good times. That sounds awful.
It's only awful if you go in with that state of mind.
Yes, that's true.
I've always said, and you said the same thing, this thing is much bigger than this. It's not some minister that had a sex problem. It's way bigger than that. You're talking about a guy who is so, I hate to keep using the same words of sociopath or whatever, but he's so into evil. The evil has such a hold of him that it's almost indistinguishable from him. And it's able to make him say things that sound really wise and sound really close to God and all this stuff. And it's just like at the same time, this guy's like a total psycho.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, like people have said to me, well, why don't you go after this minister or that minister? Well, I happen to be, I gave a lot of money to Jesse, so I felt responsibility. That's why, and also, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ministers. So it's really the devil talking, but he's just using biblical words and they're not even aware of it. That's very common in churches.
But Jesse's better. But Jesse's much more effective than most because today there's people probably listening right now that want spiritual content in their lives. And Jesse, getting that from Roy Masters and so on, and then Jesse using the questioning
content
thing.
again.
So he brought people into he made it interesting for the congregation.
No one can touch him.
Yeah, and he gave this spiritual. He gave people more than just reading the Bible. So even now, even in his messed up state, people are still watching him because they feel like he's giving them more than they're just getting from the Bible.
Right. Yeah, I always called him. He's a fake mechanical black Roy Masters. That's what Roy was the real deal, and he's a fakery. It's
but he's good at it. He's very good at. He's a very good actor. Very good actor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is.
Okay, Skip McBurney said, and again, people are helped. I'm not saying people aren't helped. They can be helped and are helped because if you tell them some truths, they can forgive their mother or they can, whatever.
I was gonna say something about that.
Go ahead.
No, I'll wait.
Okay, I'm just going to say, Skip McBurney said the people close to you can sense a change. I don't know if is he talking to me? If you are, thank you. I definitely am changing. Obviously, I'm here with my son. My son will tell you if I'm not changing.
Oh yeah, he's responding, I think, to what you said.
Yeah, and I think thank God has made a big change in me since this stuff started coming out, and it hasn't been finished. But some of that got completed last night when I kind of took that final step.
Yeah, you changed a lot since because you used to come home like in the early Bond days, 2005, between 2005 and 10, or even maybe longer. But you like that.
Did everybody just die? What the fuck?
No, I'm listening to this shit.
Oh, I thought somebody might read that, but okay.
I'll read it. Hang on. Pepe Silva says, I've had a lot of older Christian men invite me to men's only Christians get-togethers. This is a code for when we aren't gay but like to do gay stuff at men's retreats. My ass still hurts like a lot.
Okay. Unfortunately, my coughing is getting worse, so I'm going to have to call it here, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. Get some rest, man.
We're
1 hour 10 mark.
Hour and 10 minutes. All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and we will see you for the next one probably tomorrow, but can't guarantee anything.
Thank you.